All right. It is not Friday night, it's Monday. Very special episode of Unfinished Business with your boy, Marquise. If you all know me, you do understand that I'm only live on Friday nights and Sunday nights, but tonight is a very special episode. If you happen to be here on Friday night, then you do know that none other than Mr. Mugshot Mark himself, that would be Mark Anthony Django, better known as Sleepover Dad, showed up at 2 o'clock in the morning to confront me and my panelists based on the piece that I did on him on my TikTok page, which is doing quite well. In that particular video, his baby mama, who's right here on the right, his baby mama's name is Miss Kinsey Halford. She wrote numerous comments under that particular video. My team did reach out to her, and tonight she is going to speak. Of course, whenever there's situations like this, there's always his side, her side, and the truth somewhere between. So we have heard from Mr. Mugshot Mark, and tonight we are going to hear from Miss Kinsley. So come on in the room, make you some friends, tap that screen. Again, you never will get me to beg for a dime, but I will beg for your support here. We will be opening up the panel for you guys to ask questions to Miss Kinsley after I am done with my interview portion of the show. We will leave the comments on so you guys can continue on the comments as the show is progressing, but we'll start bringing people up for comments after I'm done with what I've already prepared. Now, she is brand new to me, just as she is to everybody else. The same rules apply as during my regular scheduled shows. There's absolutely no cursing in the comments. There's no cursing on the panel. Again, you can attack someone's ideology. You can question their morals, their standards, their integrity, but what you cannot do is make personal attacks towards people. So we will not be making personal attacks towards her, who is she's graciously come here, and she has a story to tell. So we're waiting on her to arrive. I will be opening up the boxes. I won't accept anybody up in the panel until I'm done with my portion. But after that, we'll start inviting people up to ask any questions that you may have. So we're just waiting on Miss Kinsey to get here. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not butchering her name. But as soon as she's here, we're going to get this thing rolling. Go ahead and tap that screen. Let's move it on up to the 10K mark. Also, share me out to a couple of your friends. I think this is going to be a very interesting interview. Again, we've already spoken with Mr. Mark. We've already got his side. Hey, Miss Kinsey, you're already here. On time. I love it. Miss Kinsey has entered the chat. So, all right, give me just a moment, and I'll bring you right on up, and we're going to get started. Gonna do it. Let me switch this over. My moderators are in the room. I do need you guys to understand that my moderators love to throw people out of the room. So be kind tonight. I am open to friends, foes, even you trolls, but understand that my team of moderators they don't really have a sense of humor, so they love to throw people out. And once you're blocked, I don't know how to get you back. So just be careful with the trolling. Again, we're going to be very much respectful of Miss Halford as she comes up to tell her side of this story. This all revolves around sleepovers, but again, we have a child involved. We now know that there's a history of DV, and we're going to discuss all of that. Oh, no problem, Miss Kinsey. Take your time. Go ahead and share me out, folks. Let's run these numbers up. Let's get the tapping that screen as well. And then we're going to get this show on the road. Let me change that grid over. Why is it not changing? Hold on, people. Looks like I'm having technical difficulties already. Grid. I don't even need that many. Hold on. Hold up. All right. That'll do. All right, people. We moderators, we can leave the chat rolling tonight, but we won't invite anybody into the boxes until after I'm done. I do have some prepared questions that I want to go over with Miss Kinsey, and then once I'm done with that, then we will open up the panel for any questions that you all have. I hope you guys can understand that. I just want to have that one-on-one connection, and I want to be able to to have that personal connection with the guests before you all ask the questions that you have. Miss Petty, how you doing tonight? I see you here. Let me shout you all out. Miss Kinsey said that she needed a moment, so we can give her a moment. If you guys want to invite Mr. Mark over, he's more than welcome to sit down in the chat and listen to the interview as well. What we don't want is for it to become very combative, so we will definitely not be bringing him up during the interview. But if he can control himself, which he could not do on Friday night, then we can invite him up closer to the end of this interview. But right now, it'll just be me and Miss Kinsey in the boxes until I'm done with all of my prepared questions. So thank you all. My moderators have entered the chat. We have Miss T. Marie. That is one of the ones, and she just doesn't play any games. So please, friends, foes, keep your trolling at a minimal. No cursing in the boxes and no cursing in the chat. Also, Deshaun say you're here for it all. You're ready. You're ready. Okay, Miss Kinsey is ready to get started. I'm just trying to give you guys, give people a couple of minutes to get out here. Miss Kinsey, if you could just chill for me for just a couple more minutes. We want to get started. We want to give people a few minutes to get here. Go ahead and share me out, people. My special guest is already here, and she is ready to get started with this interview. Is Mark in the lobby? We do not know, DP. You see how he showed up the last time at 2 o'clock in the morning to do what he did. For those of you who missed my, you could just call it a confrontation, because he called himself confronting us and getting us right. It will be available to watch on my Tube of You channel. Same username, Faith and Bishop 2 everywhere, all lowercase 2 at the end. I got the upload done. I clipped it down because that actual live lasted about 7 hours. So his portion was really close to the end. So I'll put it up as an independent video, and then the full live with everything else that we discussed will be up after this live ends. So, and then even this interview will likely end up on the page as well. So subscribe over there, and also if you're new here, go ahead and hit that button, become one of my friends. Each and every topic that we're going to be discussing will be on my page throughout the week, along with my regular content as well. So please hit that button, become my friend, and subscribe over on the Tube of You channel. Let's give it about 5 more minutes. Please share me out, people. I've already shared myself out. Sunset Kisses, one of my moderators, is also in the building. She specializes in blocking people as well. So please be kind. Please be kind. I don't want you guys to miss out on what is likely to be a very, very good interview. TT, I don't see her, but I know she's probably here already. And Miss Africa, my chief moderator, is already in the building. So please, y'all be careful. I got a full staff tonight. All right, people, we're going to get started tonight. Once again, tonight is an interview night. So it's not my regular scheduled show. I'm only on Friday nights and Sunday nights. Friday nights is DP says quit threatening us. We know how to act. No, some of these people don't know how to act. I'm only here Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight, and Sundays is subscriber only Sundays. Tonight is a very special show. We're interviewing Miss Kinsey Halford. This is the baby mama of Mr. Mugshot Mark Anthony Django. Here on the app. Again, he's gone big viral for his stance or wanting their child to have a slumber party where he hosts, as a single father, a bunch of girls, and that did not go over very well for people. So he came in, he didn't like my take on the situation, although I did think that I was very fair to him. That interview didn't go so well, but I'm definitely going to post it and leave it up to you all to decide. But tonight is all about the baby mama. We will get to hear her side. I have lots of questions with regards to the relationship, the sleepovers, what led up to him becoming Mr. Mugshot Mark. And I'm hoping that she's willing and able to have an open and honest discussion with us. So that is what we're going to be doing tonight. And please share me out, because we do interviews over here, and I think I do a pretty swell job at them. So, oh yes, the previous interview, Miss Essence, is going to be posted on my Tube of You channel, Faith and Bishop 2. That one will be up. I tried to get it up earlier today, but it was a 7-hour live, so it took a while for it to download, and then I had to chop it up in order to get to his portion, which everybody's interested in. So it'll be up after this show ends, and then tonight's show I'll probably get it up tomorrow. So all the interviews will be available for you all to watch. So here we go. Let's keep on tapping that screen. We're at 1,000 taps. Let's keep on tapping. My moderators are telling me not to start this live until we're at least at 5,000 taps. So please tap that screen so I can go ahead and bring my special guests up so we can get this interview and conversation started. Oh yeah, you missed it, Essence. It was quite the wild ride with Mr. Mark. It was really, really wild, but we have the baby mama who knows him better than perhaps anybody else. My understanding based on our content is that they spent about 10 years together, but we're going to get into all of that. Keep on tapping that screen, folks. Let's move it on up to that 5K mark. Also share me out to about 4 or 5 of your friends. We need to get out on that FYP so that more people can come in and be a part of this conversation. Everybody across the internet has been able to hear his side, and I think it's only right that the baby mama gets to speak. So I am opening up my platform and hoping to have an open and honest conversation with her about what led up to all of this. So keep on tapping that screen, folks. We got 30 people in the room. Let's tap it up. Share me up to a couple of your friends. The interview portion will just be me and Miss Kinsey. Once we're done, then we will start bringing you all up to ask any questions that you have. So that's the way that this tonight's show is going to go. We will not. I normally turn off the comments during the interview portion, but I've already spoken with my moderators, and tonight we'll keep them rolling. So just try to stay respectful with the comments rolling. Oh, you work with her. Baby girl says that she works with you. This is going to be very interesting. Stick around, baby girl. Okay. Is this going to be sub only? No, it's not going to be sub only tonight. This one is open to everybody. So just stick around. DP, we will let everybody come up and ask questions after the interview is done. I have a list of prepared questions. I've gone through much of her content. I've seen more than enough of Mark, but I went through her content, so I have prepared questions for us that I want to be able to ask and get it done uninterrupted. And then once we're done with that, then we will invite you all up to ask any questions that you have to Miss Kinsey. So that's the way tonight is going to go. I thank you all for tapping that screen. We have 39 people in the room. Share me out. Tap me up. Let's move it on up to the 5K mark. My moderators instructed me not to start the show until we're at least 5K. So tapping is clapping. You got to clap. I've been bringing you all interviews for the last year and a half, or 2 years at this point, and I've gotten some pretty big names in this room. So please, hey, it's time for you all to celebrate me. You know what I mean? Tap me up. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All right, folks, we're at 3.3 thousand taps. We need 1,700 more, and then we'll bring my special guests up to get this interview going. Let me shout out a few of my regulars and some of my new people as well as we're getting this thing moving. Good to see you, Faith. You know I love that name. That is my daughter's name. She just turned 17. If you guys have been following my content, then you've seen all of the shenanigans we had going on over the last week or so. Thank you so much for sharing me out, Miss Faith. Miss T. Marie, I don't have to acknowledge you. You're my moderator and my friend on and off the app. Miss Alice, welcome to the room. How you doing tonight? Jay, good to see you. Thank you so much for liking and tapping. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Essence, for the happy birthday. It was awesome. We had a good time. And if you've been following the content, yeah, she's 17. She'll be starting college in 2 days. She's only in the 11th grade, but she's doing dual enrollment at a prestigious college. She's super smart, so we're excited for her to start taking her first classes. Thank you all for the gifts. Again, not required, but very much appreciated. I thank you all for it. Again, I need you guys to tap that screen and share me out. It does wonders for me as a host. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm trying to catch a cold, but I got work to do, so I just gonna have to wait. Congratulations. Thank you so much, baby girl. 5K. We all have arrived. Thank you all for tapping that screen. Again, I am not ignoring you all, but the interview portion of the show is strictly between me and Miss Kinsey. After we're done, if you all can be patient, we will bring as many of you all up that want to ask questions about the situation, about Mark, and about Kinsey, who knows him better than anybody else. And that's the way this thing is going to go. So please, you can stay in the queue until after I'm done, and then we will definitely bring people up. With that, we're bringing up our very special guest. Uh-oh. Miss Kinsey, where you at? Miss Kinsey. Moderator T. Marie. Okay, she's just in. Oh yes, Miss Kinsey is the baby mother of Mr. Mark. Miss Kinsey, welcome to the room. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. I do appreciate you for your time.
Absolutely, I appreciate you. My team got right on it. They reached out to you. I want to first and foremost thank you so much for choosing to share your story and your time with me in my space. Please believe that this is a safe space, and we do this on a very regular basis. I got the pleasure, I don't know if I want to use that word, of meeting
Mm.
Mr. Mark, your baby daddy, on Friday when he came in my room at 2 o'clock in the morning as my show was ending. And he caused us to go into overtime with some of his rhetoric. I guess I'll say it that way. Now he said a whole lot, and but I really don't. I really don't want. We will get to him, but I really want a lot of this to be about you, Miss Kinsey. So I have a list of prepared questions. If there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, just let me know, and we can move right on. I got about 2.5 pages that we will cover, and after we're done with that portion, then we'll open up the chat and allow anybody that wants to ask questions to do so. Does that sound okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. I'll start with the easy softball questions. How old are you, Miss Kinsey?
I'll be 35 in a couple of weeks.
35. So you all are about what 4 years apart?
Yeah, he's about 3 years younger than me.
3 years younger than you. Okay, very good. Now you have your daughter is 8 or 9. Is that right?
He turned 10 over this past summer.
Oh, okay. She's 10. Okay, very good. And how long were you and Mr. Mark together before you got pregnant?
That a hardball question. Uh, to be honest, I had just dropped out of college,
Okay.
and it was only about a month of us being together before I got pregnant.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is tough. All right. Was this a rebound relationship, or you were just single and having fun?
I suppose you could say I was just single and having fun.
Having a good time. Okay. Is your baby, and I got to say, I blurred your baby's face just for privacy, but that's a beautiful kid. I just have to stop and say that. Yeah, you guys made a
Thank
very
you.
good baby. Absolutely. But is this your only child?
It is.
Is your only baby. Okay. Very good. Very good. So you all were together a month before you got pregnant. Did you all start living together after that?
Well, it kind of happened around the same time. He just brought his PlayStation over and never left.
Wait a minute. Did you say he brought his PlayStation over?
Yeah.
Is that
You
all
know
he
how it
brought to the
is.
table, Miss Kinsey?
Ugh. I mean, we were young.
I've already explored your content. So there were
Right.
claims on your page that you claimed that he was homeless and carless. So
Well, well, yes, we did arrange for a day to go and pick up some of his clothes from a grandmother's house. So, yeah. But yeah, he kind of started staying with me and just never left. And we just kept it pushing and found out we were pregnant only a couple months later. And we're like, okay, we're doing this. And we got to know each other over that time.
Okay. So we're well, like I say, we're gonna some of these questions are gonna get a little bit tougher, but I like to get you nice and comfortable before we dive in deep. So we're still on the easy side right now. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, I did have this question. Oh, Mark Anthony is in the building. Mugshot Mark. Right now I'm interviewing Miss Kinsey. I do appreciate you being here, and I'm not ignoring you. But when I'm interviewing my special guests, I don't allow anybody else up in the boxes. Now, after we're done, if you want to come up, if you want to stick around, then we will be more than happy to bring you up. But I'm going to tell you right now, the way you behaved on my show on Friday will not be accepted. So you're going to have to be a lot more respectful, and you're going to have to be able to control your emotions when you're in this room. So it was between me and you. We both were a bit combative, but tonight we're not doing that. This is your baby mama, but right now she's in my room and she's allowed the same protection as everybody else. And my moderators are going to make sure that happens. Okay. Continuing on, Miss Kinsey. Let me ask this. So, was this your first interracial relationship, or have you always had a thing for black men?
I had never really, experienced that before.
Okay.
So yes, that was my first interracial relationship, and it was his first too.
Okay. And how did your parents feel about it? Or did you all do the meet the parent? I mean, obviously you had a baby, so I'm assuming everybody met. Were your families cool with it? I know oftentimes, you have at least one or two that you bump into that are still have that old ridiculous mindset. So I would like to know how was that experience for you all?
You know it. My family's from rural Mississippi and Louisiana. So yeah, they do have that backwards way of thinking, and it was not received well.
Okay.
The day that I found out that my daughter was going to be born, that I
You're muted, Miss Kinsey. She's muted right now. Okay, you're back.
yeah, I had a phone call. I had
Oh,
to
no
put my
problem.
phone on.
No problem.
To put my phone on D&D. So yeah, the day that I found out I was pregnant, my dad was going to, he was calling me, and I thought he was calling me to tell me happy birthday, but he called me to say I, heard that you were sleeping with a black guy, but he didn't use
Did
that
he use that
phrasing.
word, Miss Kinsey?
No, sir, he did not. And
Hey, I believe you. I believe you. Go ahead.
it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Honestly, it broke my heart because
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that that
Yeah.
kind of solidifies that I'm kind of in this, by myself.
Okay.
Luckily, his family is pretty, receptive of me, which was nice. It was cool. I had a little spot at the cookout in the back and whatnot. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
was nice.
Okay, hold on. I got to pause for just a moment. Mark Anthony, Mugshot Mark. I think I've given this instruction once. I'm going to give it again. I've already said, sir, that you won't be allowed in the panel during the interview portion. Again, we run things a little different over here. We have class. Your page doesn't reflect that, but mine does. So, because we have class and decorum over here, when I'm interviewing a special guest, I don't allow other people up, especially people that are going to be belligerent and or disrespectful. Again, if you want to hold your horses and gather your emotions, then you're more than welcome to come up after we're done with the interview portion and speak. But at any point, if you who just hold on. At any point that you become disrespectful to my special guest who happens to be your baby mama, then you're going to be thrown out of the room. It's just that simple. We're not going to do that. You can go over there and act a clown and a fool on your own page, but we operate a little differently over here. Okay? So that's my second time having to tell you there's no need for you to continue to request. Everybody that wants to speak and has questions will be able to do that as soon as I am done with my interview. But right now we're in interview mode. So please relax, Mark. They've already muted you. My moderators simply do not play. I am trying to keep you in the room. So please, just relax, dude. You already got up here and was able to tell your side. Now we're giving Kinsey the space, the time, and the opportunity to do the same. All right. All right, with that, so you guys got together relatively quick. You had the baby. Were things good at first, or I guess at what point did things start turning for you? Because we do know that
Um,
it gets pretty dark.
yeah, so that was it was honestly pretty quick. We did everything quick, you know?
Okay.
Um, and it was at a time when I was pregnant. Was when like the verbal abuse started, and then quickly after that the physical, like I wouldn't say abuse at first, but just the physicality. Like we were both very physical, and then the abuse, and then it was just all downhill from there. So yeah.
So this was during the actual pregnancy or
Um,
after?
we
At what point did it become physical?
um
If you remember, you know.
I honestly I can't really remember whether I was pregnant or whether she was very young. But yeah, we did get physical very, pretty quickly.
Okay. Was he very apologetic after each incident, or because there's a shot on my page I could put the screen up where you were saying that it was a very regular basis that you suffered this DV. So at what point did it become a regular occurrence?
Um it was it was a regular occurrence for, I mean, we were together 3 years.
Okay.
Just 3 years. So our daughter was barely 2 when we split up.
Okay.
And in that 2 years, she saw us fighting, I would say about 80% of it.
Wow. Okay, and
Yeah.
and these outbursts were they? Well, I don't know if either of you use rugs or anything like that, or were these just emotional outbursts? Were either of you under the influence, or what do you? Is there anything that we can contribute outside of just not being able to control oneself as to the reason for these violent incidents?
Yeah, no, I would just chalk it up to lack of impulse control on both parts. There was no drugs or any kind of substances involved on either part. We were just really emotional people, and he's very, loud, and when I get in a heated argument, I'm very loud. And I also do not like to be like with people in my face,
Okay.
and that kind of triggers me. I found to put my hands out and just like get the person off of me, away from me.
Okay.
So,
So,
yeah.
so here's a question. Obviously, we've seen incidents on your page where you have recordings of him having these violent outbursts. I saw one outside of a vehicle where he's beating on the car door, and I see another one that really bothered me where you were, I guess, inside of a bathroom. Your caption said, hiding, and I'm paraphrasing, in the bathroom after he beat by A again. And what bothered me the most about it was being able to hear the baby crying in the
Mm,
background. So that
mhm.
that was a very hard listen for me. Let me ask this: was he always the aggressor in this situation, or were you also a very physical person when you got angry?
Um, I would say if you had to break it down to like percentages, I would say I was the aggressor, like with, I don't know, like I don't know how to let things go. That's how I would phrase it. And he has this way that he used to like grab me and force me down when I'm trying to, walk away or whatever. I don't know. And then that's how it started. And then from there, it almost became like reactive abuse. Like if he would run up on me, like I was automatically engaging, physically.
Okay.
So that, and I actually figured that out through therapy. So yes, I would engage with him first
Mm.
on occasions. I would say, in a percentage, I would say probably about 20% of the time,
Okay.
I was engaging physically first.
Okay.
But it was only when my personal bubble was breached, if you will.
Okay. Okay. I think that's more than fair. Now we're about to dive a little bit deeper. When it comes down to how he got his mugshot, we've heard his side of the story, and now we want to hear yours. What led up to Mark actually getting that particular mugshot, and how is it that he collected so many charges and they were reduced down to what I believe to be only simple battery? I would like to know what happened. Do you remember that moment? What day? How old this kid was? Can you take us back to the day of that particular incident? And were you? Did you
Yes,
stay
sir.
with him after that occurred?
Yes, sir.
You stayed with him after that
Yes.
occurred. All right. So take us
Yes.
back. I'm just going to be quiet. Just paint a picture for us. How did Mark end up with that mugshot?
Okay. On the day that that happened, my daughter was about 2.5 months old.
Oh.
So still in the infant carrier, very small. And we were still, like I said, trying to adjust to being new parents. And we were still going through the seasons of our own relationship. And I mean, I think at this point, I forgot exactly what we were arguing about. And I think he doesn't remember either. But we were in an argument, and I remember just wanting to leave. So I remember getting my daughter in her little onesie and getting her ready. And the whole time he's trying to stop me, and he's taking my keys and he's taking all the things that I would need to leave. And I'm getting the things to try to leave. So
Oh, hold
I,
on one second, Miss Kinsey.
yes, sir.
Okay, I apologize. We need to take a commercial break. Listen, we have a very special guest, Miss Kinsey, in the building. We have 93 people in this room, and you all are not tapping that screen. I need you guys to support the live. This is likely one of the first times she's broken her silence with the creator here on the app. She's telling the other side of this story. Now, you guys have been hearing from Mark for the last week, and now we have the other side, and she deserves just as much attention as Mr. Mark did. He's been able to throw out various accusations and claims over the last week, and we want her voice to be just as loud. So, with that, we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause the show, and we won't resume her story the night that Mr. Mark got his mugshot until we reach that 20K mark. With 93 people in the room, it should only take you a couple of minutes. So tap that screen. Miss Kinsey, you could take you a break.
Okay.
All right. People, let's tap that screen. Let's tap it up. Let's move it on up to that 20K mark, and then Miss Kinsey will take us to the day. We'll continue with her story, taking us to the day that things went from bad to worse with Mr. Mark, and let us know exactly how he ended up with that mugshot. Tap it up. Let's move it on up to the 20K mark. Also, people, share me out to about 4 or 5 of your friends. This is a very important conversation with regards to DV, relationships, co-parenting or lack thereof, and the story is only going to get better. So please continue tapping that screen. Goodbye, Bob. Tap it up. Let's move it on up to that 20K mark. All right. For all the people that are requesting up, I'll have to say this once again. You're more than welcome to stay in the queue, but no one will be allowed in the panel until after we're done with the actual interview portion of the show. After that, anybody that wants to come up and ask any questions is more than welcome to do so. Including Mr. Mark, who is definitely in the room. So please continue tapping that screen. Let's move it on up to that 20K mark. Oh no, it's fine, Renee. It's quite all right. And for those of you who are accidentally tapping, I totally understand. But we have people that are cycling in and out, and they may have not have gotten the announcement at the beginning. Me too. That's Lily. Lily, I have to shout out. She's one of my people that works behind the scenes in vetting and making sure that the people that we invite on for these actual interviews are worth our time. You know what I mean? Mark, Anthony, sir, I see you requesting yet again. The interview has not ended, sir. As soon as the interview ends, you're more than welcome to come up and speak, sir. Until then, you will remain in the comment section with the rest of our people here. Again, I'm going to need you to control your emotions, sir. Absolutely no cursing tonight. Okay? We let you get away with a lot of stuff that we never let people get away with. It's simply not going to happen. Thank you all for the gifts, and thank you most importantly for tapping that screen. Let's move it on up to that 20K mark, and we'll continue on with Miss Kenzie's story. All right, thank you so much for that gift. I appreciate it. That's so nice. All right, all right, all right. Oh, that one was for you, Miss Kenzie. That's awesome. Tap, tap, tap it up, people. We're almost at that 20K mark. We need about 2,200 more taps. I think it's always good to be able to give my interviewees a nice break, because some of this subject matter gets so heavy. You know what I mean? We just need a little bit of time anyway. So keep on tapping that screen. We need 1,700 more taps. Again, Mark, there's no need for you to continue to send in requests. We are not ignoring you, sir. I am conducting an interview at this time. After we're done, then you're more than welcome to come up. But once again, what I need you to do is to be very much respectful and encourage. There will be no calling of anybody the B word in here tonight. I know that seems to be one of your favorite words, but the first time you say it, you're getting thrown out. Now, I was respectful to you and I was nice to you the last time, but tonight I'm not gonna play with you. All right, thank you all for tapping that screen. Let's continue tapping that screen so that I won't have to interrupt the show again. Next goal is 30K. Again, if you're enjoying the conversation, just tap, tap, tap the screen. Tapping is clapping. It's letting the algorithm, letting TikTok know that these are the type of shows you want to see. These are the conversations that you want to have. That's all that's about. So tap, tap, tap that screen, people. If you're new here, believe you me, I do this all the time in addition to my regular lives and my regular content. If you're enjoying tonight, hit that button, become one of my TikTok friends, follow my content throughout the week, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about each and every week. This is a very special show. I'm only live Friday nights and Sunday nights, but for this interview, I had to come on up. All right, Miss Kenzie, break time is over. We are ready for you to resume the story.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go right ahead.
Okay. So the day that he got arrested, like I said, we were into it about something. I can't remember. And he was grabbing my keys and all the things that I was grabbing to get our daughter ready, who was only, 2.5 months old. Um, I was trying to leave and he kept trying to stop me. And finally I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to make it out of this house with both of us. And I don't know what I wanted to do at that point. I didn't know where my keys were. I didn't have a phone. He had taken my purse and all that stuff. And I couldn't get out of the house with my daughter in her infant carrier. I had her strapped in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to get away from him long enough to get out the front door. And we lived right across the street from like a hood store, and I just walked right across the street just to get like a breath of fresh air and I don't know, look at candy or something. And so I'm walking through the aisles just mindlessly, just walking through the aisles, and tears are streaming down my face because I'm like, why is my life like this? And I wasn't being loud or anything like that. And I wasn't even looking for anybody. I was just walking, just my feet were propelling me. And I think it was either one of the workers or one of the patrons of the like a customer in the store, and they were like, "Oh, do you need me to call somebody for you?" And I was like, "No." And I didn't see at the time, but I had marks all over me. And my face was real red from crying, and my neck was real red, my chest was real red, my arms had like red marks. I'm pasty white, so yeah, it shows when I get grabbed. And
So did you have the baby? Was the baby still in the home, or was the baby with you?
she was still strapped into in
Okay.
her infant carrier
Okay.
in our living room with him. I can't remember what he walked away for just a second, or maybe like turned his back or something. But I just like ran out the front door.
Okay.
But I didn't run away from the house. I wasn't like screaming or anything like that. I just wanted to have a moment to myself. And like I said, I didn't have a phone or anything. So this lady walked up to me and was like, "Baby, do we need to call anybody for you?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine. I just need a moment." And so I'm walking and I'm crying. And apparently, she went and told a worker that they needed to call the police because I was not fine. I literally just went and sat down by like the trash cans and was just chilling. And get up and walk around some more, and all of a sudden I hear Mark's voice, like screaming my name.
Mm.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? And I'm like, oh my god. And I get up and I just instantly start crying because it was just really emotional. And I see him come around the corner, down an aisle towards me. And he had on my pink robe, and he was carrying our daughter in her little car seat.
Okay.
And I had only been over there about 2, maybe 3 minutes. And so I'm I'm kind of having it out with him in the store. He's like, "Why did you leave?" And the workers are like, "You need to go. You need to get out of here. We're calling the police." And he was like, "She needs to come to the house." So, I didn't know what was like. I just watched all of it kind of unfold in front of me. Like, I was just crying. And so he's getting into it with the workers, and we're going to leave. And all of a sudden, the cops are there. And I think he went back to the house when he heard that the cops were coming. So I had my daughter at that point. He went back to the house by himself. A cop show up. They talked to me, and like I said, I didn't know at the time because I hadn't seen myself, but I had red marks all over the place.
Mm.
And we, well, the cops didn't tell me that they were arresting him. I didn't know that they were arresting him until basically it had happened. And I in Louisiana, if there's a domestic violence occurrence, because this did occur within our dwelling, they
Mm-hmm.
considered a domestic violence. So when that occurs, the state is obligated to take somebody, whoever they deem as the aggressor.
Okay.
So they took both our statements and they deemed him the aggressor. And they took pictures of me, and I don't know what the pictures even looked like, but they said that I was, quote, marked up. So, okay. And the police really do conflate things at times, and I understand why they do. I completely understand the need for that. So, but yeah, I went back to the house, and that's where I sat. I got put through the ringer for that because it was like, I I put him in jail is how everybody looked at it. And everybody who I had kind of like surrounded myself with was because of my family's position on the relationship. And,
Mm,
I was kind of alone with all of it. And all I had was his family. And so from that point on, it was kind of like, you know,
okay.
just me.
Okay. So he was arrested. I can't remember all the charges. I'm pretty sure you may be able to rattle them off a little bit better than me. I remember child endangerment. Uh,
Yes.
um, what were the others? It was
I believe
child.
it was domestic
Yes.
assault, I believe, domestic violence. There was child endangerment and false
Unlawful
imprisonment.
imprisonment was the one
Yes.
that really caught my attention. Yes, and that was the there was a comment that you left left that let me know it was you in the comments
Hmm.
section. Yes, so those were some of the charges. So I need to first understand, well, because a lot of people were confused. They didn't understand what unlawful imprisonment was. Can you explain that to us? You did a wonderful job at it in the comment section. But for those who are not familiar with that particular charge, what does that entail?
Yes. So the false imprisonment
Mhm.
was due to him taking things like, things that would allow me to leave, like my keys. He did take my keys. And because, I mean, the cops just ask you these questions. It's not something that you just come out and say in the moment. Oh, he took everything from me. No, they ask you, well, did you try to leave? Yes, I did. Why couldn't you leave? My keys were taken. He took them and threw them across the house. I had no idea where they were at.
Okay.
So that, accompanied with the fact that he would, every time I'd get up and try to leave, he would physically like sit me back down. I mean, he didn't like wind up and punch me or kick me or throw me down or anything like that, but he would like physically sit me back down pretty forcefully whenever I'd try to leave.
Okay. All right. So he did collect all of these charges. He was highly upset with me at using at describing him as mugshot Mark, and I was unapologetic about it because he had a mugshot. But the charges were reduced down to simple battery. At least that's what he told us during his appearance on Friday. Can you explain to us how those charges were reduced to just simple battery?
Yes. So in the um, domestic violence protocol that they have in Louisiana, which is where we were. Like I said, they have to take the aggressor and then they arrest that party, and that party is held where an automatic restraining order is placed on the aggressor, the person they deem to be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
And when they bond out, the victim party to be notified prior to that release. And once they are released, you can't, be together, anything like that. And then at the court date that the defendant has to go to, then they decide whether or not that restraining order stays in place for the full year or whatever. So I said that to say I went up to that courthouse for probably about 2 weeks every single day, begging the judge to drop the protection order. I can't exactly explain why, except for my daughter was not even 3 months old, and I just really wanted my family together. So my appeal to the judge was that we were, working on things and that we were trying to be better people, a few other, blah blah blah. So I guess in all of that, with that being added to the case, that gave him some sway, and most people, like we were only like 22, I think, is how old he was.
Mm.
Maybe 23. So we did have, yeah, he was 23, and we did have he did have to go to court for that. But I mean, they are pretty lenient on people who don't have records, and he didn't have a record. He doesn't have a record.
Okay. So did you have a record?
Prior to Mark Anthony, no.
Okay. All right. All right. So basically, you went down and did what you could to get the charges reduced and or thrown out. Is that my understanding? Is that the correct understanding?
For the most part, yeah, and that again coupled with the leniency that the state has for
First time offenders or something.
yeah.
Okay. And listen, I'm not. I don't stand in judgment of any person that suffered DV and chose to stand by their man, so to speak. My mother was a survivor, and I absolutely understand how that thing happens. Okay. So with that, you did stay with him. So the baby was super young. So you stayed for several years after that. Then, right?
Yes, I
Did he
stayed
seek
for
counseling of
probably
any
a
kind? Did he seek?
yes.
So he did seek counseling. Did things get
We
better?
we both sought counseling
Okay.
through that event. We did. Uh, we were partnered with a counseling agency of some sort, and they did do a few home sessions with us. Um, and they didn't really go anywhere because he said he just told them what he thought they wanted to hear so that they would leave. And I was like, well, that's not beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. So was there a period of time that things did get better for you all?
We would have periods of time where we would go, like maybe like a month without fighting and stuff like that. But I mean, it was, I wouldn't say constant turmoil, but it was just like perpetual.
Okay. And do you remember the day that you decided this is over? Oh, well, I guess I shouldn't assume who left the relationship.
Yes, I do remember the day that I decided to leave.
Okay. Tell us about it. What was the
Yes,
sign
sir.
for you?
I had just bought a new car, um, and I was the only person in the relationship that had a car at the time, so I had to take us everywhere. And he had the aux cord in my car and was playing his music really loud, and I kept telling him to turn it down. It's getting on my nerves. My head hurts. And he was like, "Oh, you're just being a bee." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't react very well to that ever.
Absolutely.
And but I mean, it was constant. But I didn't really react to it well that day because I just kept turning the volume down on the button on the steering wheel because my new
Mhm.
car did that, and I loved it. And was turning it down, and he just kept taking the knob and turning it back up on the radio interface. And I just kept turning it right back down. And then finally he got so mad he just punched the screen, and it broke, and it was brand new. And I said, "Oh, that's it. That's it." I mean, I don't know. I mean, he had put his hands on me enough, but that him putting his hands on my car,
Mm.
that I had just, I don't know. It just did something to me. So, and I think also that day or another day very close to it, my phone ended up thrown out of the car into the middle of the highway, and I had to pull over and get out and go get it, hoping that he wouldn't steal my car and leave me there. So,
Has your daughter been witness to any of these violent outburst? Or was she in the car when
Unfortunately,
he broke the screen?
I'm sure she was. I don't know where else she would have been, honestly.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Now, here's a tough question and one that I know many people are gonna ask. So I'll just go ahead and get it out the way, so you don't have to repeat yourself. It is our understanding that Mark does have custody of the child, or sole custody of your child. How did that happen, Miss Kinsey? We're somebody that's got all this going on. In addition to the mug shot, the charges, we got the OnlyFans account, we got the Twitter pictures, all this kind of stuff. How did he How did he get sole custody of his baby, Miss Kinsey?
So he has physical custody, and that's it. It's just an agreement that he and I had. There's no formal order. Um,
Why would you agree to that, Miss Kinsey? Someone that you have deemed to be, well, dangerous to you at the very least. Now, I will. Now, let me pause because I know Mark is here. I did see one particular video where you did say out of your own mouth that he's always been a great dad to your daughter. So I want to pause and make sure that he hears that. But for me,
yes.
for me, if this person is putting their hands on mama, I don't know how comfortable I would be with allowing my baby to stay with that person. My mom, like I said, was married to my dad. He was never once put his hands on me or my sister, but he was absolutely violent towards all of the women that he was with, and because of that reason, my mom took us right along when she walked away from that relationship. So yes, we why is it that you would agree to let him have custody of this baby?
Right. So, just to kind of double down on what you were saying,
Yeah.
yeah, he's always been fantastic father, supportive, doing everything he should and more, at his own, never at my request. So yeah, props to him for that. He's always been a wonderful father. And so for that reason alone, is pretty much the reason why I never felt uncomfortable with her being in his custody, because he's always been, like I said, just very she's been his whole world since she was born. So yeah, but the fact that brought her into his care fully,
Mhm.
sure. He moved to Houston in 2019. And then when his mom got sick and passed, rest in peace, she was kind of my only like tether to that area, because both of my parents had passed away at that point. So I was like, well, nothing's keeping me here anymore. And then COVID hit.
You're muted, Miss Kinsey. Hold on, Vanessa. We're going to bring up our panelists after the interview is done. Go ahead. You broke up for a moment.
Sorry,
You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
me, and I can't get. I've already silenced my phone.
Oh, it's fine. We
I don't
got
want to
plenty
have
of
a
time.
block
Go right
in.
ahead.
So if I do blank out again, that's
It's
probably
fine.
why, and I'll be back.
That's fine. So, okay, well, she's blanking out again. Again, people, for you all that are just joining us, once the interview is done, we will bring people up. We do have Mark, who is on fire in the comment section. We're going to bring him up if he can control himself. If he starts having these emotional outbursts or drops one cuss word, we're going to kick him out. I spoke with him personally on my live at 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and he was very much unhinged and disrespectful even then. So tonight, I'm not going to tolerate it. So if he can be respectful to his baby mama and my panelists in my room, then he can stay. But if he comes up and he's disrespectful or belligerent or anything that's unbecoming of what we do in this room, then he's going to get thrown out. So that is my final warning for him before he comes up on the panel. But again, the panel will be the panel. This will be extended to everybody. Everybody can come up. We'll try to keep a little bit of order with regards to asking questions for anything that I haven't covered during this actual interview. Go ahead, Miss Kinsey.
Okay, so during the beginning of the pandemic, I started to date a guy that was really cool at first.
Okay,
And
let
then,
me pause you, Miss Kinsley, because
yes,
this is what he said on Friday. He said that you didn't know the man, you moved him in, and I'm paraphrasing, so I'm pretty sure he'll clarify anything that I missed. But he said you didn't know him, you moved him in within, I think, 2 weeks, and then the guys became really violent, and he did not want his baby in that situation. That was his version. You can tell us what your version of that is.
okay, so yes, it's a very tumultuous time
Was
for
it two
me.
weeks for you moving him in? Is that it was
No,
okay?
no,
How
we
long
were
was it before
together.
you? Go ahead.
We're probably together about 5, maybe 6 months, I guess.
Okay.
Mm. But yeah, we'd started dating around like February of 2020, and he moved in with us towards the end of the summer because he had been quarantined so many times with his housemates. He was missing work, and
Okay.
so at that time, like I said, to not for everybody to still have money to live, we made the decision for him to start staying with me. And
So
from there,
Had Mark ever met this guy at all? Was there any attempt at allowing him to meet the guy that was going to be moving in with his child?
um, that was a huge mistake on my part because no,
Okay.
but prior to him moving in, no, and that was my first mistake, honestly.
Okay. All
But
right.
yes, so he moved in, and things didn't go to crap immediately because they never do.
Mm.
And then they did. Then they started going left, and I started noticing some of the things that I didn't leave.
Okay. So it seems like there's a pattern of you getting with men that don't mind putting their hands on you. Is that safe to say?
It appears that way with these two. Yeah,
See, and that's not
unfortunately.
blaming you, and I hope you don't take that as blaming you. But what I do understand about women, especially those that I've been around, that unfortunately have fallen into that. That if you don't take that time to heal and grow and know and love yourself, then you find that you go and seek that out in men, and oftentimes these type, and I'm not going to call Mark that type, but men that are offenders,
Mm.
they can smell the weakness, and oftentimes they prey on women like that. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents with regards to people that end up in these type situations over and over and over again. If you don't grow, or if there's something that's so broken about you that you're not willing to heal, then the only thing you're going to continue to attract is somebody else that is broken as well. So I'm assuming you've been through counseling, so I'm pretty sure you've heard some version of this in the past, but that's just my thought around it. Okay, so he moved in, things go super south. How did Mark get this baby? And
Okay,
how?
so
Go ahead.
um, there is an ongoing case for exactly what happened, but we will just say that he and I were in an altercation, and my
You and
daughter was
the you
present.
and new boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So we was physically attacked, and I won't go too much into detail about
That's
any of
fine.
that,
That's
but
fine.
um, the police were ultimately involved, and because I didn't have the financial means to just immediately, up and move. I mean, I didn't really trust that his mom wouldn't bail him out because she did. And Mark and I sat down and had a conversation, and it was the hardest conversation I've ever had in my life. That she was going to have to live with him for the time being. And this was in 2022. This was right before she went into second grade. So
Hmm.
this was literally the week that she was supposed to be starting school for second grade. And she went she went with him, and it was only kind of supposed to be for a temporary basis. But like my life just continued to unravel, and she ended up in his care for the entire school year that year, and then I got her back that summer.
Okay. So, how often do you see your baby now? Does he even allow you to see the baby at this point?
Mm. He I mean, he doesn't make it easy for me at all. I went more than 2 years without seeing her because when he took her from me, I had I didn't have a vehicle. I don't drive anymore. Mm, PTSD, so driving's not fun for me most days. So when I lost my car, and then I was just like, I don't I have any need for a car. I work at home. So when he came and took her from me, I had no way to go and get her back. Absolutely no way.
Okay. So your baby is. You say it was more than 2 years you've been. So when was the last time you saw the baby?
I saw her a little over a month ago.
And before then,
Before then, it was 2 years.
you hadn't seen your baby in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because I've been in your comment section, and there are a lot of people that are upset with you and are basically just calling you a deadbeat parent. What do you say to that? I mean, 2 years without seeing your kids is kind of hard. It's gonna be people are hard pressed to agree that you are doing everything you can for your baby when that's a very and in the most pivotal time of the baby's life. What do you have to say to those people?
I completely agree. It is extremely way too long to go without a child seeing their mother and a mother seeing their child. So the day that he took her from me, he blocked me on everything.
Mm,
So I had no way of getting in touch with him. And then he moved from the place that I knew them to live at, and didn't tell me where they lived. So I had no idea where my child even was. So all I had was just her occasional phone call when she would remember to call me. I mean, that's literally all that I had. That went on for at least a year, and during that year, I didn't really leave my house. Like I said, I was extremely like withdrawn with PTSD. I lost my job. I lost my college. Yeah.
2 years. So do you so you don't talk to her often on the phone either.
Do I would like to talk to her more often, but I mean she's 10 and she doesn't always. answer the phone when I call, and she doesn't always call me. So
Okay. So what are you doing now with regards to, are you fighting for custody at all, or are you okay or satisfied with him being Mr. Mom to your baby?
no, I'm not at all satisfied with it. I would at the very least like some, because when she was primarily in my care for the first 7 years of her life,
Yeah.
we lived in the same town for most of that time, and then he moved when she was probably about 4 or 5. He moved out to Houston where he's at now. And I there would be times where, because when the holidays come around and you're like, oh my god, I got to get this kid out of the house, I would call him and be like, hey, are we meeting this weekend for you to come and get her? And she wants to come out there with you for this whatever, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. And they'd be like, nah, I can't make it. And I'd be like, oh, well, we will be out there in about thirteen hours then, and I'll just do a round trip. And so I just felt like I was a better co parent to him when I had primary custody than he is to me now that he has primary custody. So I don't feel like any effort on his part's being made. I actually feel like negative efforts being made on his part.
Was CPS involved at all with regards to him getting custody of this kid?
Somewhat, um, sort of. So when she came back to live, well, what I thought she was going to live with me, and it was about 9 months after she started living with him because the school year had just ended. And we were in, or we were back where we live. Sorry,
You're
don't
fine.
want to give too much away.
Oh, no,
So
that's fine. I'm fine.
she starts school, third grade this time, and she starts school and she goes to school literally one street over. And
So how
she
close do you all live now? Do you live relatively close to the baby?
No, I live 7 hours away.
7 hours away. Okay, I just want to be clear on that. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So,
So
mhm, go ahead.
yeah, so our school was one street over from where we lived, and we lived in a military community. So she came home one day and said, made a friend at school. And my mom heart just was so excited about that. So I was like, oh yeah, you made a new friend. And the little girl, I told her, they wanted to go play at the little girl's house. I said, well, I don't know y'all, so have your mom give me, or give me your mom's number. Have your mom like write it down on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna give her a call. So the little girl wrote the number down on a piece of paper, never gave it to me. So my daughter thought that she gave it to me. She never did. My daughter goes to the little girl's house, and when they didn't come home, freaked out and tried to track her cell phone. The cell phone was off, it had died. So I freaked out and started knocking on doors. Nobody knew anything about this little girl. Apparently, her and her mom were new to the neighborhood, and it was her first day at the school. I freaked out. And anyway, so as I'm at home, like on the phone with police, she comes home with this lady's, or I mean, this little girl's mom. This lady brings her home and says, I came home and saw this little girl just sitting in my living room, and they were just watching a show. And I was like, who are you? So anyway, she takes my daughter home, And I freak out and I sit her down and I was like, "You are in so much trouble because so many things. Why did you let your phone die? Why did you not give me any information on these people? Why did you not, you know, I was working from home. I forgot to add that part in. I was working from home at the time, like literally that moment when they came in and left. So that's why I didn't know what was going on with the girl's mom's phone number. So that's when they tell me that they were like, "Oh, I," and the little girl said, "Oh, I have the number in my pocket here." So my daughter and I sit down and I said, you're in a lot of trouble and I'm going to take away everything from you and you're grounded for a month. So you will not be doing anything for a month and I'm going to give you a spanking. And so she starts boo-hooing. No, 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 no. Don't give me a spank. I said, I'm going to give you a spanking and you're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it because this is what you do. And I gave her a spanking with a ruler on her butt, about 5 or 6 pops, and she threw the biggest fit, flipped around, was slamming herself into the floor, into the chair, into the dresser, and into the bean bag. And so that night, she cried herself to sleep and then got up the next morning and went to school. And I got her ready and we talked about it again. And I was like, I just need you to know that you cannot run off like that. You cannot be anywhere where I don't know where you are anymore. And I explained the importance of keeping her phone charged and all that again. So she went to school, and from what I'm to understand, I don't really have clear, you know, anything of what happened at school. But from what I'm to understand, she told the school that I beat her.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So So I didn't know anything about that. They had a caseworker come and talk to her. Apparently, they pulled her out of class when when school ended, and she didn't immediately because I would go to the school and like
Correct.
get her, even though it was one street over. And when she didn't show up, her friends passed by and she didn't. So I went into the school looking for her and they wouldn't tell me where she was at. And I figured she was in the after school program. So I went back there and I got her. And they were following me. And so I knew something was up. So I just grabbed her and we went home. We walked home. The As we were leaving, the school had called the CPS worker, I guess, or I don't even know if she was a CPS worker, but I'm
Okay.
assuming that she is. She might have been a school counselor. I don't know. But nonetheless, she pulled up as we were walking away. And so the administrator, I don't even remember who it was, but whoever it was that was following us, kind of like told the caseworker, like pointed towards us, and she followed us home. The caseworker followed us home and sat outside my house. So, like I said, I worked from home at the time. I worked from home, and I had to get back on the phone. And so, as I was sitting there and I'm waiting, or I'm taking calls and stuff, and my daughter's doing her homework, the show up at my house. The caseworker called the cops.
Okay.
I haven't talked to her at this point. She calls the cops, I guess. When the cops show up, they were beating on the door and really scared both of us, me and my daughter. And they asked me, they confirmed my identity basically. They asked me what happened, and I told them what happened, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And they were like, "But bad news. We have to arrest you because you have a warrant. You didn't go to court. And I went to jail on a failure to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Had that evening, I had a detective come and talk to me, and he told me that the state wasn't going to press charges on me for like child abuse or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And said that, basically just pay your ticket and I was free to go. And that's what I did. So when I got home,
Okay, so what exactly was the warrant for?
I had a speeding ticket that was about $400, and I only paid about 200 of it. And then I didn't go back to court.
So it was unrelated to this entire story that you just gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
So
It is
the
just one of those things.
so the charge or the incident with regards to your daughter claiming that she was being abused by you, is that not what led to you losing the baby?
Like I said, in a roundabout way, yes,
Okay.
because when the officer arrested me, I was like, well, what's going to happen to my daughter? And the caseworker said, well, we're gonna call her father. And I said,
Oh,
no, do not call her father, because he will literally come and get her. And they didn't care. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. I asked if she could stay with a friend, and I guess they said no. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, he came and got her, and they were like, I was bonded out before he was even back in Houston with her. So that was the real kicker, is like she didn't even have to be in his custody at that moment.
okay. Back to the original question. What, if anything, are you doing with regards to attempting to get custody of your child at this point?
I'm still consulting with lawyers. Because lawyers are really expensive. They're like $200-300 an hour for most family legal counsel. So, I mean, really, it's just trying to find the right one that won't charge me that much.
So, okay. So your claim is that you basically can't afford a lawyer, and that's why things you haven't made any real progress with regards to getting your kid back. Have you
Correct.
considered doing a GoFundMe or something like that to try to raise funds to try to fight to get custody of your kids back? I'm pretty sure with the case as compelling as yours, especially with these videos of this DV that's well documented, that people would have sympathy and want to help you. Have you not considered any of that?
Well, I have kept most of that kind of to myself for the last 10 years, 11 years, however long, because I didn't want to paint him in a bad light,
Okay.
until he just completely flipped on me.
Okay, so let me ask this. This is what I found questionable with regards to even the video inside the bathroom. You recorded yourself, and like I say, it was heart wrenching. You're screaming. It sounds like he's attempting to kick the door down, and your baby is crying in the background. How long did that incident go, and why did you record yourself? Did you bother to call the police that night, or was this before or after you called the police, or did you call the police at all during the making of that video?
Yeah, so that audio is actually from a live that immediately privated because it was going to get stricken. And I saved it and emailed it to myself back then. And it's been sitting in my email for 10 years.
Okay, so even when it was going on, did you call? The question is, did you call the cops at any point during that incident?
No, I actually never called the cops on him because I didn't want, and this is kind of my twisted way of looking at it, I think, in the back of my head is I didn't want for there to be some sort of an altercation with him and maybe an officer. So like I just didn't want that to even be in the realm of possibilities of happening. So I, thought just don't call the police. They're not going to help. They're probably not going to help us because he's going to be crazy and then he's going to get shot or something like that. That was my instant thought.
Okay. Okay, Kenzie. All right. Here's another question. With regards to what brought us ultimately to this moment, sleepovers, which is what my video ultimately started as and has evolved into all of this. He wanted a sleepover for his daughter and all girls. Uh, would you be comfortable with that? You know him. We
Would
don't.
um mm, I would see no problem with it. Just knowing Mark as the guy that he is, understand people's concerns.
Was he doing any of this S work during your relationship, or did this all start after your relationship ended?
No, that was something that he started on his own after long after our relationship.
Okay, okay. But like I said, we have all this information now. You knowing him, would you be okay with him inviting all girls to a slumber party for your daughter?
Yeah, he would probably like honestly, seriously dress up with them and stuff like that and like I don't know. He's that kind of dad, He's that put the I mean, no jokes. I'm really not trying to make any jokes, but he's that kind of dad, the paint my fingernails and, you know, put the tiara on me type of dad. So, yeah, I completely would see him doing something like that. However, her daughter has had sleepovers before. She has girl cousins that live down there. That
Oh.
she told me that she has sleepovers with them all the time. So I don't know what happened with that.
So she hasn't actually been deprived of sleepovers. She's actually your claim is that she's had several.
Well, yeah, and then also she was at one the other night too when she called me. I was like, "Oh, where are you at?" And she said, "Oh, we're hanging out at a camp with her Girl Scout friends." So I mean, that's a sleepover. They were in a bunk and they were unsupervised. That's a sleepover. So I don't know. She be having sleepovers, man.
All right, now that's the bombshell of the night. So we don't. So you don't even know why he brought this brought this to the internet. If she's had slumber parties with cousins and family members and even at Girl Scouts.
Oh no, I know. Don't you?
I don't. No, I would like. Listen. I have a 17-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. I am 100% against sleepovers altogether. And me and my wife have been married about to be 20 years. We've been together since seventh grade. People love us as a family, and they have attempted to send their kids. So we have a nice house, so they've attempted to send their kids over for slumber parties plenty of times, and it's an automatic no for me every single time. And everybody knows and trusts us, but me as a father, it's just an absolute no. I don't want your little girls over here. No. And I don't want my daughter at anybody else's house either. She has a bed, a brother, a house, a dog, and a fence. We don't. What is the need? No,
That
I'm just against it because not to say that there is anything that I don't know him personally, and I said that even in my video. You could very well be a great guy, but I am not willing to gamble with the safety of my children. I've seen too many stories of people that seem to be wonderful people, and when that door shuts, something awful happens. So I'm just totally against it for the sheer fact that that could be that one person that put on a beautiful face for the community and for society and for us, and that one moment changes my daughter's life forever. Did you know that Mark himself was a victim? Was that something he shared with you? Because he shared it with all of the internet.
The crazy thing is I found out the same way that everybody else did, which is weird.
Oh, okay. And I'm only asking that because for me, and I said that to him in the video, and even when he came on my live, that I would think that as a person who has been victimized themselves, that they would be even more cautious or that much more protective of their children. Mind you, me nor my wife have ever experienced anything like that, but it's just the thought of it that makes me pause because I know it only takes one time to ruin a person forever. You can get all the counseling you want, but that scar you will carry for the rest of your life. And he obviously is scarred, and those scars are showing. So that is those are the questions I would have. So you are not opposed to sleepovers. That was going to actually be one of my final questions. You're not opposed to sleepovers, and your kid has been to several, according to you.
I mean, I technically don't really have any say in it because she's not in my custody. Unfortunately, I always like for her to keep her phone on her. She knows how to operate it, and all that stuff. And we've talked about, things, especially with the traumas that we experienced and everything. Kids that have endured any kind of trauma typically mature a lot faster mentally.
Mm,
So they're able to sometimes have those tough conversations.
mm-hmm,
And I've always kept it real with my daughter and been like, there's people out there that don't like kids. There's people out there that want to hurt kids, and you have to know which people to be around and which people to not be around, and who to tell when things don't go the way that they should, basically. So, I mean, that's really the only armor that I can give her right now.
all right. All right, with that, I do believe I have gone through all of my prepared questions. We're going to take another nice break. I thank you so much for all of your candor, for being open and honest with us, and for telling your story. I know parts of that had to be very, very difficult. We are going to open up the panel to allow questions, but first, you guys are going to do us a favor and tap that screen. We're going to move this on up to the 100K mark. That's 25,000 taps or less with 133 people in the room. And then we will open this thing on up for questions. I'm pretty sure that Mark is ready. Again, Miss Kenzie, we will not allow Mark to disrespect you and vice versa. So I'm asking the same of you. You seem to be very well balanced. What we don't want is a back and forth screaming match. We don't want cursing and disrespect of any kind. So if that happens, then one of these people is going to be removed. Mark has been warned. Mark came in here live on fire on Friday, and he got away with a lot more than he will get away with tonight. So that is my fourth or fifth warning to you, Mark, before you even make it to the panel. Again, with regards to the panelists, there is absolutely no cursing in the boxes. There is no cursing here. Feel free to ask whatever question you would like to ask, but please let's not make these personal attacks, and stick to the subject matter at hand. All right. Oh yeah, Mark is back, girly. Mark was here. Girly was here on Friday, or actually Saturday morning. That show was ending at 2 o'clock in the morning with Mugshot Mark showed up to you know do what he did. So that video will be posted on my Tube Review channel immediately after this show. Faith and Bishop 2, same username. Please subscribe over there. My actual subscribers here, I will actually put it in subscriber only, so you all won't even have to go that far to get it. It'll be made available for my subscriber only here as well. And this interview, being that it has gone so well, will also become part of that of my Tube Review channel as well. Faith and Bishop 2 on Tube Review. Please subscribe over there. Leave those comments. Let me know that you're there so I can support you as well. No problem, folks. Yeah, girly, I know you were late, so I'm doing it just for you and my subscribers. I'm gonna drop both of those right here and label them as subscriber only so that you all, my subscribers, can get it first and get it without having to leave the app to do so. All right, folks, we're taking a break, giving Miss Kenzie a little bit of time to gather herself. Again, I asked some of those tough questions. I'm pretty sure we have a few more tough ones coming her way. But in the meantime, I need the 136 people in the room to tap that screen. Let's move it on up to the 100K mark, and then we will begin the Q&A session of this show. I see Mark is waiting. We're going to take a couple of questions. Hopefully Mark will cool his heels and come in here with some level of respect. We shall see. That's my hope and prayer, that we can have a productive conversation and not one that ends in somebody getting kicked out of the room. But I do have my team of moderators here, and we simply do not play. I know this may be your first time, a lot of your first time visiting me in my room, but this is how we operate each and every Friday. We have conversations. We talk about subject matter that is awesome. You know what I mean? We handle difficult subject matter, but we handle it in a respectful way. We have learned how to argue and how to disagree as a group without disrespecting each other. And that's what I hope everybody can learn how to do. Again, my show, my platform exists to enlighten, educate, and entertain. We do it all over here. Tonight is actually a very special show. Again, I have Miss Kenzie, the baby mama of none other than Mark Anthony, who I've labeled as Mr. Mugshot Mark. Again, this will be the absolute last time that he comes up on my page. My team did reach out to Miss Kenzie, and she was gracious enough to come up and share her side of the story, being that Mugshot Mark decided to come up on Friday or Saturday morning to do whatever he did. You guys will see it when I put it up. So keep on tapping that screen, folks. We're almost there. We're at 88,000 taps. We need 12,000 taps. Tapping is clapping. I need you all to support the show. This has been a wonderful conversation thus far, and it's only going to get better in the Q&A session. So please tap it up. All right. My beautiful moderator, Miss Africa. Of course, let me go ahead and bring you up. All right, I thank you for being here as always. My moderator, one of my moderators that's helping to keep the show running smooth. How you doing tonight, Miss Africa? You got any announcements before we make it to the Q&A session?
I just want you to know I'm not light on the finger. I am definitely blocking and muting. Please be respectful. Watch your mouth. Watch your comments, and please no cussing. First cuss word, automatic block.
we don't do that here. You got to learn how to use your language skills that don't involve cuss words. We're not going to disrespect each other to get our points across. It works so much better over here that way. We're at 91,000. We need less than 9,000 taps, and we will begin to bring people up for the Q&A session. We have several people already waiting in the queue. Miss Africa, if you don't mind, we'll let Mr. Mark wait just a little bit. It looks like you muted him again. So
no, I unmuted. He got 2 pages. I'm trying to find his second page. He has 2 pages. I can't find the other one that I muted.
Okay.
So the Mark Anthony one is able to come through.
Okay.
Emerald, I'm not worried about what you're talking about. You can be muted too.
All right. Hey, these are the people that keep the show running. Again, my job is the host to do just what you've seen I do. But my moderators actually are just absolute wonderful people. I have to shout them out. I know I'm going to miss somebody, but that's Miss Africa. Is actually Akira, but I just call her Africa. There's TT in the comment section, and Miss T. Marie, who has been with me pretty much since the beginning. I know that at least those 3 are already here. If I miss somebody, shout your name out so I can shout you out as well. We are. They're the bone. They keep this page protected and allow for us to have these difficult conversations without all of the disrespect and ridiculousness. Miss Sunset Kisses. I knew I was gonna miss somebody. Sunset Kisses has been with me since the beginning of my TikTok journey. So I love each and every one of these ladies. And
okay, both of his pages are unmuted now.
Y'all are awesome. Okay. Again, this is not going to become the Jerry Springer show. We will shut this thing down before it becomes a screaming match. I'm just letting you all know. We got a little bit of class and dignity over here. We're not going to do it. All right. I don't know where my settings are. I'm trying to expand my boxes. Hold on.
How far out you need them?
Oh, just go ahead and pull it to the 8. Okay. Or actually, I don't think we're going to allow that many people up at a time. We'll just drop questions. and then just pull them down as they get through their questions. DP, welcome to the conversation, but you're gonna have to wait it out just a minute. We got to hit that 100K mark before we begin the Q&A session. And you know the rules over here, so I don't have to have to let you know. But for anybody else that's just joining us, we got 141 people in the room. Again, the only rules with regards to coming up on the panel, you have to be one of my friends. So you tap that button, become one of my friends. You're more than welcome to join in and ask your questions to Miss Kinsey. Again, no cursing in the comment section. You can attack thoughts of view. You can attack ideology. You can attack some things that the person says. But what I don't want you to do is to attack a person personally. There are no personal attacks here. You can ask questions, but there are absolutely no personal attacks allowed on the panel. Those are the rules. We can abide by that. Then you're more than welcome to join us for the Q&A session. Now, we do have quite a few people in the room, so let's try to limit your questions to maybe one or two. And after we cycle through everybody, then we'll be more than happy to bring you back. Thank you so much for sending those gifts and supporting the show. We're at the 100K mark. You guys are doing awesome. Please keep tapping that screen so I will not have to interrupt the Q&A session. The next goal is 120,000 taps. Keep tapping. You can drop your question. If you don't want to come up on the panel, drop your questions down here. My moderators will collect them and we will address those as well. DP, go ahead with the first question of the night, brother. Look, I set this thing up. It's not even ready. DP!
Hit the wrong button and took me out. As always, Marquis, excellent moderation. Thank you for it. Africa Baby, thank you for being here. And Kenzie, thank you for coming up and sharing your story. It's good. It's always good, as Marquis has said, to get both sides of the story, because we know there's your side, the other person's side, and then somewhere in the middle lies the truth. So my one burning question to you is, because you pretty much covered everything, as always, is thorough. Like when he said, why did he post the story, and you said, you know why, could you elaborate on that for me? Because maybe I missed it, but I don't remember you saying why you think he posted the story about the sleepovers, when it's obvious, according to you, that the child has had numerous sleepovers.
I think that it was just one small story that probably did actually happen. I mean, it made him feel away, and he decided to do what he does and make a video about it, and didn't. I'm sure he didn't expect for it to blow up like it did. For so many people have so many polarizing opinions on it, but yeah, I mean, he made the video for the same reason he makes every video that he makes, and that's just to get attention.
So you didn't think? So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How do you feel about the adult content? Because quite frankly, Kenzie, that is to me, I know people work in the industry and OnlyFans now and all that stuff, but that is kind of concerning to me. The very graphic nature. Well, just full frontal and rectal nudity, and I mean the daughter is just 10 years old and not giving to me thoughts that this is out there forever. He can delete all he wants to, but once it hits the server, it's out here forever. Like, how does that, as a parent, as a mother, just as a decent human being, what do you think about that?
Don't unmute
Yes.
your mic.
Thank you, Africa. Yes, sir. So DP, to answer your question about the OF, the adult content, it was my understanding for a while, from the time that he started up until recently, I think, that he was kind of like in the shadows with it. So he kind of like kept that separate from his personal, or from like his social media presence and like who people know him to be, like his brand. I was to understand that I was kept kind of separate. There was two separate worlds, like night and day. And so I mean, I would hope that my daughter wouldn't run across that type of content. but I mean, that's always a concern, obviously. But I don't think that he like intertwines his being a father and his making content. I think it's two separate worlds, but I'll let him speak for himself on that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Africa, could you extend the boxes for us? We know that Kenzie and Mark will be holding their boxes for the duration of the show, so we need a couple more for additional audience questions.
How you doing, Mr. Marquise?
Welcome back, Mr. Mark. How you doing tonight?
I see that you're trying to rage bait me. I thought we had a clear understanding.
Rage bait.
And
So
yeah,
this is.
instead of you calling me Mudshot Mark, I thought we discussed we weren't gonna do that. I was gonna be.
I never said I wasn't going to call you Mugshot Mark.
Okay,
again, sir.
now this is
Never
where it
once
gets
said
real
that.
interesting.
What
man.
I asked you,
Let's do
Mark,
this.
was to remove your video. That's what that was, which you said you weren't going to do, and I said okay. So I understand where we are now. That's how that conversation ended, sir. But I never agreed to not call you that because that.
So
that
I can keep calling you DL Marquise, right?
You can call me whatever you want, sir.
Right,
The difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying is what you claim is nothing but lies.
Okay.
What I'm giving is the truth.
All right, and I see you, black
What
man,
I'm giving is
and
the
I see
truth.
you, Mr. Black
So you
man.
can
You
argue.
don't got her
What
shot up there too.
what I want you to do at this point, Mark, is to first of all try to stick to the subject because this is not
I'm
about
talking to you,
Marquise.
Mr. DL Marquise.
This is about Miss Kenzie. This was her night, which you didn't even have to be a part of.
I'm just trying to see, do you not have your own family to be concerned about? You're worrying about somebody else's family.
To come here and say whatever you wanted to say, and I gave you that. Now I'm giving it to her.
Baby mama.
See, Marquise, he hasn't
Anything
learned. He's not.
disrespectful about me, and I'm not going to talk about our
He's
relationship.
dysregulated.
What I want to address
He's
is like you don't have anybody else. You don't have your own family. I'm not going to address my family business on the internet.
Okay, so why are you
thank
here,
you.
sir?
You just trying to like, got my family.
You put your business on the internet, sir.
But it's other stuff to talk about, sir.
Oh, okay.
Why you still worrying about this?
Sir? Well, what is your point, Mark?
What is your point?
My
My baby mother has a mud shot.
for the last 2.5 hours.
My baby mother has a mud shot. Why you didn't put hers up there?
I don't know anything about her.
What is your
She
point of
didn't
talking to
publish
my
it.
baby mother?
Your baby mama didn't publish her mugshot. You did, sir. I don't know anything.
It's
other
on my
than what's
page,
put
sir.
out.
It's on the same page as mine, sir.
Mark, ask me how many times I've been to your page. I don't concern myself.
Why do you want to talk to my
I
child's
don't
mother?
concern myself with Miss. The reason that you became a
You don't
subject,
concern yourself with Miss,
the
sir.
reason that you
This is
became
Miss
the
right
subject,
here.
sir, is because you came across
This is Miss right here, sir.
I'm sorry?
If you don't concern yourself with Miss, why are you talking about Miss?
This is not, sir, I'm not talking about mess. What I'm talking about is
You are talking about
violence.
mess.
I'm talking about domestic violence and
also,
men that
let's talk about-
think it's okay to invite little girls over for slumber parties.
And now you weaponizing
And that could
it,
be
man.
any man,
Now
not
you
just you,
weaponizing
Mark.
the case.
If you scroll back through my content,
You're
which
trying
I
to
really
label
did
it domestic violence.
because the
But
video
really,
you
you're
made
being
had
messy.
about 5 or 6
You're a grown
clips in
ass
it,
father
then you
with
know
2 kids
that this is
and
part
a
of my
wife,
platform.
and you're worried
sir.
about my family.
I already told you about to be gone. We're not cussing tonight. I heard you cussed on Friday. You're not cussing tonight. That's a promise. You're not cussing tonight. That's
I
a
see
promise.
ass, ma'am.
Be
It's still
nice.
a cuss
You
word.
ain't
So
see anything
it's
yet.
okay. You got it.
You
You
Be
got
nice,
it. You
Mark.
got it.
ain't see
I'll
anything.
give it. I got it. I promise. The next one, I'm gonna show him better than
Do you
to
feel
tell
important
That's
tonight,
all
I
I'm
do
gonna
want
say.
you to stay,
That's all
please. I
I'm
want,
saying.
Mom. Again, we don't carry on the way you're attempting to carry on, sir. We want to have a conversation. If you're just coming here to be combative, then you
Is
can.
she trying to be
you
big
did
and
that on
bad? I can
Friday,
see that
sir.
she bad right now.
First and foremost, she came here and we made the point to stop the entire show to say she never once said you were a bad dad, and neither did I.
Obviously, I know that. That's why I'm not gonna get on here and bash her. I'm addressing you as a man with 2 kids and a wife.
Again,
So
my
you wanna
kids
ask-
and my
matter of
wife
fact,
are
let
not
me
the
ask you
subject
this.
of the
Let me
night,
ask
Mark.
you this. Ask me any question you want to.
Mark,
Can I ask a question?
I've said all that I
Anybody
want to
can
say
ask
to
me a
you,
question.
Mark.
This is an open discussion. Let's do this. What do somebody want to know?
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
ahead, TT.
Is there a TRO in place between either of you?
A what?
A
No.
TRO.
Oh, too many big words at me. I don't know what that means.
Well, you gotta tell him
No.
what TRS stand for, baby. Don't do that. Acronyms is not his strong suit.
I can see
So
you real strong, ma'am.
Marquise, I
Okay,
just
hold on,
need
Marquis.
you.
Hold on,
Personal
everybody.
attacks will not be
Every
tolerated,
okay,
Mark.
hold on,
Again, we're not going to do
everybody.
that.
Mark. What's not gonna happen is you come up here and disrespect the host or the moderators or anybody up
I
here
never
on this.
disrespected the host.
Okay, so and also
Y'all
do not
disrespected me.
stop over
Y'all just
talking.
called me
Stop
slow.
over talking and listen for just a moment. Would you stop over talking and listen for a moment? Because I'm not staying up here. Do not disrespect the
I
host.
never disrespected.
Do not disrespect the host. That's how it goes over here.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
If
What are you
you
talking
can't
about? I never
handle that,
disrespected the host. Y'all
if
started it.
you
Y'all trying to
why
rage
you
bait
don't
me.
have any self-control. So just be
You
quiet
don't
for
have
a
any
moment.
self-control,
So
ma'am. You are yelling.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
That was God.
That wasn't me. Y'all know I like
I
to
know,
do that,
I
but
think it was Tia
it wasn't
Marie.
It
me.
was God.
He can't control himself.
He can't control
He
himself. But what I'm
cannot
going to tell
control it.
you is
How many warnings did I give this man before he came up? How many? How many?
too many, too
How
many.
many?
And
We sat here. Go ahead.
just so you know, mugshot Mark, this is why no parents want their kids at your house and around you. This is a prime example because you can't control yourself, you can't control your emotions, and you are not fit to be watching anybody else's children. And I said what I said.
You know what? Let me jump in here real
Well, the
quick.
woman that
For
you
the
had a
comment
child
section.
with may not mind, and you may be a great father from her vantage point, but from the split you bust and the ass you shake, that ain't what we see. And I'm gonna drop myself because I just cursed and I don't want Africa to get me.
Yes,
Consent violation.
A read.
You're a
A
moderator.
Um,
Drop
read.
yourself. The rules apply to my
you know what?
moderators too.
You know what? I want to share something with the people in the comments with their comments.
Go ahead, D.
Marquise is not baiting him. Kenzie did not attack him. We are not attacking him.
Mm-mm.
This is for people that are sitting here who only saw this interview. You did not see the interaction that all of us on the panel had with him Friday. He came in belligerent, disrespectful, telling lies, and I was one of the few people that tried to hold him down and respect his position. You guys don't know there is a history here between Marquise and this gentleman because when Marquise called him Mugshot Mark, that was just a nickname to use because the man put his mugshot out there. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So then it is true. Him and Marquise had a conversation. He made this kind of nasty response video. Marquise said, okay,
Absolutely.
fine. We can stop this now. You take down your video because it's lies, and I'll stop calling you Mugshot Mark.
Correct.
He didn't want to do that because he felt attacked, he felt disrespected, and as we kept telling him, but you put this information out there. See, that's how social media works, people, if you don't know. You can post whatever you like, but you don't get to control how people respond to it. So please keep your comments about, oh, Marquise is after him, they're disrespecting him. You really don't know what you're talking about. I suggest if you want to know, go over to Marquise's Faith and Bishop 2 YouTube thing. And it's towards the end, so probably about 1:30 Central Standard Time or
Correct.
something. Start watching there, right? Or maybe an hour, 1 o'clock. And you can see the whole interview with the very people on this panel, and you can see how that interview went. Okay? So please keep those little nasty, slick comments of yours to yourselves because you just don't know what's going on. And instead of making those slick comments, come up and ask a question. Okay? And I'm sorry to dialogue, but that was getting on my last nerve with these people making these rude and unfounded comments and don't know the whole history of what has happened. That's why Marquise opened up his page to Kenzie because we had heard everything how Mark bashed this woman and said all types of stuff about her. And let me tell you something. See, I didn't mean to go on, but I see now y'all got me riled up. You know, Marquise wasn't even going to do this interview with Kenzie because he didn't want to get in the middle of it.
it
We
really
went back and
wasn't.
forth in our private
Discussion.
live last night, and we just
Correct.
told him to pray about it and be led how he felt. And obviously, he felt to bring her up, and I'm glad he did. Okay, so there would be no misconstrued. There'd be no assumptions. There'd be no he said, she said. We heard from him, then we can hear from her. We again, Marquise has given him the opportunity to come on him like an adult and have a dialogue and defend himself or co-sign what Kenzie said and he was more interested in fighting with Marcus, like he was on Friday, than
Correct.
addressing any concerns he had with Kenzie or what she said. This man is totally dysregulated. He cannot regulate his emotions, and y'all should not be feeding into that bull stuff.
Love
I'm
it.
gonna land my plane. I'm getting worked up.
Keep it going. All right. All right. I appreciate it.
I just want to say the acronym thing. TT said an acronym. That's why I said
Right.
don't use an acronym, because he didn't understand what TRO stands for. And if y'all don't know what an acronym is, y'all might want to go back to elementary school. They teach us that in elementary school. Temporary restraining order. That's
Y'all want him back up. Could you ask Mark, can he control himself? I don't mind having a conversation, but what I want him to do is to stick to the subject. And Marquise is not the subject of the night. If you want to know
What?
anything about Marquise, Marquise has an entire documentary on his a Tube of You channel that tells his story from zero to the point that his wife is 5 months pregnant with the son that's now 3 years old. It's called Blue Blessings. You can go right over there and watch it. It talks about abandonment. My wife almost passed away carrying my oldest child. It talks about the death of my father, two uncles in the course of 3 years, and everything that took for me to get to the point that I am today. I am an open book. So this doesn't have to be about me. I have a whole documentary, and I've given my testimony on this platform more times than I can remember. This is about Miss Kenzie's. This was Miss Kenzie's night. Mark made Friday his night. Again, I normally don't even revisit subjects, and as my panelists are letting you all know, I did not even want to do this interview because I knew it was going to dissolve into nothing more than a screaming match because that man cannot control himself.
So the reason I asked that, because now they've included social media if they do have a TRO in place. And can I ask her if there ever was one in place for either parties?
Yes. So earlier when we talked about he got his mug shot, Louisiana, I don't know. I do know not every state does this, but I do know Louisiana does. The offending party of any domestic violence case they automatically get that minimum 1 year restraining order placed,
Right,
and
right.
had to have that basically just dissolved by the judge formally.
Okay, so he had it for a year to stay away from you.
Originally, yes.
And when was that
That's
up? When was it up?
well, no, we had that dissolved because he was afraid to come back home, and I went and appealed to the judge and said, we want to work on our family dynamic and everything, and we want to be better people and all that. And the judge was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess I'll just dismiss this restraining order then. So that's how
And
that
when was that?
happened.
When was that?
2015.
Of this year. Okay.
2015.
That- Oh, 2015.
Yes.
Wait, how long have y'all what when did the original case happen?
Um, for which original case are you referring to?
Whenever he got those charges.
Yeah, that was 2015. That was when our daughter was 2.5 months old. She's now 10.
Okay, so thank you for answering that. Really quick, I'm
Yes,
gonna say
ma'am.
this and I will totally mute. But let me tell you, she said 2015. It is 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand how the mind of a person works that will drag something out like this? And no resolution, no change in attitude, no change in demeanor. That says a lot. I was in one for a battle for 13 years. And I think there's something common about that when 10 years later, there's no change. Because at some point, somebody's going to break and say, look, for the child, let's do this, right? Unless that other party, one of those parties, man or woman, it don't matter, is hell bent on making your life hell, and they don't give a damn about the child in the middle. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree.
All right. Mark Anthony, you're still in the room. I'm going to ask you kindly, are you going to be able to control yourself this time, sir? If you can control yourself, you're more than welcome to be a part of the conversation. But understand, Marquise is not the subject of the night. You can watch my documentary if you want to know about me and my family. Now, if you're going to stick to the subject, and this is indeed the subject, then you can. Yes, there have been, your name has come up several times, and I would gladly invite you to defend anything that Ms. Kinsey said, or to correct any inaccuracies that may have been made. But what you will not do is to disrespect my panelists or disrespect me in my room, because I don't come to your room and disrespect you. Matter of fact, I don't come to your room at all. I've seen you numerous times on this app, and I'm not interested in any of your content outside of this one video that went viral and came across my FYP. And after tonight, your name will never be mentioned on my page again. You asked me, do I have other things to talk about? I absolutely do. There's a video I put out on a substitute teacher that's way bigger than the one I made on you. So if you don't want people to talk about you, Mark, then don't put it on the internet. You made a video for likes, clicks, and views. You got them. You just didn't get them in the way that you wanted them. And again, this conversation started with sleepovers, and at the end of this conversation is going to end with sleepovers. The rest of this stuff is all because you added fuel to the fire. And I will not apologize for it. If you don't want to be talked about, stay off the FYP with your personal business. Anything I put up on my page, you're more than welcome to talk about, with the exception of my wife and my kids. Because they're not part of what I do. You may see them, but they're not part of what I do, and you will not disrespect them. I don't expect you to understand what it does to a man that loves his wife and his kids, because you don't have a wife. You don't have one. And I've been with mine 29 years. I'm married 20 years, and I will burn the ground. I will scorch the earth about that woman and them kids that I've been with since day one. So no, I'm not gonna take. I took as much as I'm gonna take off you Friday. I'm not gonna take any of it tonight. So if you can come up here and conduct yourself like the man that I hope you are, the father that she is at least claiming you to be. If you can have a respectful conversation, then you're more than welcome here. You're not the most difficult person that I have dealt with. I interview people all the time. But you are embarrassing yourself, sir. You're not hurting me at all. And again, this stuff is going to exist forever. I asked you on Friday, are you going to be proud of the way that you conduct yourself in 5 years? Because none of this stuff is going anywhere. You have a child that is 10 years old. Many of those kids have phones, and many of those kids have TikTok accounts. Do you not care how your child sees you? Do you not care how your child peers see this little girl's daddy carrying on? Because I'm proud of everything I do here. Oh yeah, he's in here. He's been here all night. He was just up, and I'm more than welcome to bring you back, Mark. But I need you to agree that you're going to try to control your emotions just a little bit. Go ahead, as he's gathering himself and hopefully getting himself together well enough to be able to have a respectful conversation. Ms. Vanessa, go ahead with your question. We have lots of people wanting to chime in and ask questions, and we're going to try to get as many of them in as we can. Go ahead with Ms. Vanessa.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This question is for Kenzie. You stated that you went and dropped the things at the court. Are you afraid of Mark?
Currently, I haven't been around Mark enough in the last, 7 or so years since we split up to really be afraid, like be in a position where I could be afraid of him.
When you went and dropped the charges, were you afraid of him then?
At that time, that's a good question.
At that time. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Probably so. I would say the whole time that we were together, I was afraid of him.
Mm.
Are you still in love with Mark?
Mm.
Absolutely not.
Do you think a man putting their hands on you, do you think that's love?
I don't, but I can see how my history would point to that.
Mm.
So you have repeat offenders.
I
Yes.
do.
Yeah, it was two. It was
Okay.
him and the one after him.
Right.
So when you was getting counseling, did the counselor let you know that that wasn't okay for them to put their hands on you?
Right.
He never left, Vern. Mark, I'm waiting on you to answer the question, sir. Are you gonna be respectful and try to control your emotions? If you can agree to that, then I'll let you back up. Again,
I know you mentioned that the lawyers was expensive. Have you talked to any other lawyers letting them know that you don't have the money, because there are some lawyers will put you on a payment plan.
I haven't spoken to any lawyers like that recently. I
Do you
mean,
even want your child back?
absolutely, absolutely.
You got to fight for. If you haven't spoken to nobody lately, that's not much fight. That's not much fight.
I understand that. It's the whole, going up to the lawyers, talking to them, speaking with somebody about the case, and them hearing everything, and then me hearing everything that they could do for me, and then at the end they hit you with, and then this is how much it's going to cost. And every single time, it's so crushing.
So
And
when
so
you
it's
go, I don't mean to cut you off because I don't want to forget what I'm trying to ask you.
listen
When
yes,
you
here,
ma'am.
go,
Vanessa. Now hold on. Let me pause this. You done asked like 20 questions now. We got other people waiting besides you.
I had a list too, Marquise.
I'm sorry, I just want to know.
We'll know, Vanessa, you're going to have to drop and come back. We got 17 people
I
waiting.
come back, no problem. I come back.
Give her one more and then let somebody ask her. Somebody else ask a
I'm
question.
gonna go ahead and drop because I'm gonna write my questions down.
Thank you, Miss Vanessa. God dog.
Y'all well.
She's already had an interview. Girly, go ahead with your question. I'm bringing you all up. Go ahead. Girly. See, these people never.
Okay. So
They
I
expected
heard
me
you
to
talk
go up.
about
Fuck, I should have. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
you didn't
I'm
know
sorry.
you
No
was in the
problem.
I
box.
didn't think he was going
He didn't know he was in the box. Go ahead. Go ahead, girlie.
Okay, so I heard you talk about how you feel like Mark is a really good dad, that he's the kind of dad that would paint the fingernails and dress up and do things like that. Do you just feel like your daughter, even though he might not have been a good partner for you, or you guys together might have been toxic, do you feel like
Oh.
he's a good father, so that you're okay with him having the custody?
At first,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it was
Let me pause for just a second. For those, we have tons of requests coming up. You have to be one of my friends in order to come up in the box. So please hit that button and remain in the queue, and we'll let you all come up. Continue to come up. Go ahead, Miss Kinsey. I apologize.
yes. The question was, you said,
You're in other words, he might not have been a good
right, right.
husband or father, but he's a good father to your son, I mean to your daughter, so you think that you really don't have to fight for the custody or something like that? Is that kind of what you're feeling?
First, it was kind of just an understanding of, I'm glad that she's able to come and live with you while I'm, experiencing this extremely traumatic time in my life.
Hmm.
I'm trying to put my life back together. I really don't want her to see this part of me. I, would rather her not. So that was kind of the original thing, but then it just turned into him being bitter about it, I think.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
he continues to play off the narrative that I don't do anything, but it's hard to ask. I mean, I've asked my daughter a million times, do you need anything? And of course, she's going to say, no, I don't need anything. But she's 10, so.
So have you? Do you contribute financially to her in any way, or have you?
I
Since
would if I knew how to, but he's cut all communication with me.
so the answer is no.
Correct.
Okay, so Mark has never. He doesn't have a not a GoFundMe, but he doesn't have a Cash App or anything that you can have access to. Is that what your claim is?
Correct. He's blocked me on everything.
Okay, well, Mark is here. He'll be able to speak to that if he chooses to. Go ahead, baby girl. We're ready for you.
She has her own phone now, right? Like
Okay,
she's like 10.
she's 10.
I mean, 'cause she could even have a little cash app or something, but something that you could just send her Apple Pay, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Like just to Mark.
So okay. Well, here's another one that falls right in line with that. This one's coming out of the comment section. This comes from Mark's content, where he said that you are continuing to claim the baby on your taxes. And I would like to know, if he's the custodial parent, why is that still happening, if that's true?
Yeah, I haven't claimed her since 2023 on taxes, and that is because she did live with me through August of 2022.
Is there a reason why you can't put yourself on child support? Y'all comments and y'all, these questions are great.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not saying this in a disrespectful manner, but I'm her dad. She don't have to do none of that. I'm responsible for that. I'm gonna let her do what she needs to do in order so she can be financially stable in her life, where she doesn't have to worry about anything.
So, but then you can't, by the same token, then flip that around and be like, oh, I'm a struggling single
I
dad.
never said I was struggling. I'm just struggling trying to give her the experience of a girl, but I can't as a dad. I'm not struggling financially.
Boy, you're more of a girl than me. I'm sorry. No
I
offense.
don't know what
sorry.
that means. What that mean?
So let's not do comments like that.
Kenzie, wait, Kenzie. Wait,
My
Kenzie.
apologies.
I don't know what that means.
That was crossing the line.
Skip it,
No,
Mark.
no disrespect. No
That was
disrespect. I meant it
disrespect.
more of like a joke.
Wait,
Mark,
Kenzie.
my
Wait, Kenzie.
apologies.
What happened?
We're not gonna do
Okay, so I'm sorry, host, but I work with Kenzie. So I see the things that she does do for her daughter. I hear the conversation she has with her child. I've seen her pack things up and even send things to her child. So from my perspective, she is a good mother. The baby just lives with the father. But my question for Mark is Mark, when the baby was with Kenzie, and she was making sure you seen your child, as a father, why wouldn't you extend the same grace and make sure that the mother sees the child? Because as she said, there was a point where you didn't have a car,
No
and she
disrespect,
made
ma'am.
sure. Yeah.
I want you to ask Kenzie this in the most respectful manner. Ask Kenzie, did I ask her to come live with me, rent free? She didn't have to worry
I'm not
about
talking
anything.
about living. I'm just talking about you seeing your child.
Is that not extending the same grace, asking her to come live with me rent free?
Well, Mark, if you're beating her, I probably wouldn't want to stay with you either.
And with y'all relationship being tumultuous, do you really
We
think
was
that is
past
good
that,
for your
and
No.
You said you were past. You moved past beating her.
we beat on each other. I'm not even gonna
Okay,
play
but
that.
again, so there's domestic violence going on between the two of you, and you want her
But
to come live with you.
I feel like I matured since then, and I was
I don't
hoping.
think so.
Oh, see, there you go.
I don't know you. I've only
You
met you the
being
last week,
disrespectful.
and you hadn't grown. You're still very violent. Your actions are violent. Your words
Can you
are
bring up
violent.
anywhere else I was violent, please? Can you bring up some more mud shots?
I don't know you, but
Can you bring up any more mud shots?
but the proof is in your videos. You're
But can you
very
bring
much
up
you're
any
very
more
much a
shots than being
violent
violent,
person,
sir?
sir. You're very violent in your words and your actions.
What have I said violent, sir?
Do you want a list? The level of
I'm just gonna say this.
disrespect you pay to women in particular.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't think it would be a good
absolutely.
idea. I don't. For the baby's sake, I'm not worried about the two adults, but for the baby's sake, I don't think it would be a good idea if y'all cannot have good conversation and get along with one another and know for a fact that you both are past the putting your hands on each other phase, the disrespecting each other phase, because that is not something a little girl needs to see. Her father disrespecting her mother disrespecting her father, because she's gonna think that's the type of man she's supposed to be with. And I can promise, Mark, from what I'm gathering about you as her father, you are not going to appreciate a man disrespecting your daughter in that manner. You're going to want to put your hands on him for disrespecting your daughter. So at this point in time, if y'all don't know all of those above things I said without a shadow of a doubt, it's not a good idea for her to live in your home, even if it is rent free, so she can be with her daughter, because that little girl needs to see positive interaction from y'all. I have two daughters who in the beginning watched me and my ex-husband. Not we were physical when they were small, but once we separated and divorced, they watched us argue, they watched us cuss, they watched us fuss. Then they just watched him fuss, cuss, act a fool, be belligerent. My oldest daughter got into a domestic relationship. My youngest
Excuse me.
daughter just got out of a
But
domestic
that's not me.
That
That's
ain't
not me
what
and
you
our
want for your
relationship.
daughter.
You're
No,
bringing up your
I
personal
agree.
relationship, ma'am, and me and my
I
baby
agree with
mother,
her.
we was past all that.
Y'all were physical with each
No,
other.
I
Y'all
agree
were
with her.
physical.
Let me offer an
We
example
was
since
past.
he need. Let me offer an example since he needed one. In one
I
of
don't
your
need an
videos,
example,
in
Mr.
one of your
Marquise.
videos, Mark, you said I don't hit I won't hit a woman but a bee.
Yeah, I
And
said that.
every woman that disagreed with you in the past week has been a bee. So in essence, that's saying that you hit all them because they bees.
No, I was talking about that one girl in particular. Don't use that, sir.
Doesn't
Because
matter,
she
sir.
did she not say
I
she'll
don't hit
slap?
women at all. I don't
Did
hit
she not
women at
say she'll
all.
slap me first?
I
Did
don't
she
hit
not say
women at
she'll slap me
all.
first?
So
Did she
you're
not
not
say
making
she'll
a
slap me
strong
first?
case where you're able to put in exceptions for slapping on women.
I'll never slap a woman.
You beat this one.
Mm,
But
You beat this one.
mm.
So I have another question, Mark. Do you feel like if she came to live with you, that you would be in control of everything because it would
no,
be.
no, no,
Wait,
not at
wait,
all.
wait. Hold on, because I didn't finish now. I asked Kinsey to respect you, so I need you to do the same with me. If she comes to live with you under your roof and you're saving her money, that means that you're in control of the money, the living arrangement, and anything else that she does in her life. Am I wrong?
You're completely wrong. She can do what she wants. I'm just giving her a place where she can be with her daughter.
Mark, I have
So
a
why
quick.
does it have to be? Why does it have to be on your terms, though?
What you?
I don't
That's
understand that.
called control.
Oh my god. Oh my
Mark,
goodness.
can I ask you a question right quick?
What are y'all talking about?
Mark,
You might
can I
want to
ask you
try
a
to keep
question?
up with the conversation because it's going very well. Go ahead with your questions.
So, Mark, this is deep. I have a
I
question.
was just trying to find an
You asked
easier
Kinsey this
solution for
question. So
everybody
we're
so
gonna.
she can still be around our child. How is that controlling? How can I control
Again,
somebody
more
that don't
again, I
how
would
can I
not
control someone that
recommend
I'm
a
not
woman
intimate
that
with?
I
Kenzie
would
is not
not.
my girlfriend. We just co-parent together. So therefore, how can I control her? If she lives in my house, she can come and go as she pleases
I would not
with our daughter.
recommend a woman that's been beaten by a man on numerous occasions to go and live with him.
We beat on each
That's
other.
me. It
We beat
doesn't
on each
matter.
other.
Okay.
Mark,
Again, if either of you cannot control your hands, then you don't need to be in the same house.
But that's the point of what we're saying.
and
That's the
this,
point of what we're saying.
this,
Y'all have a past history. Who's
and
to say
That
that
was
both of y'all
7
are
years
past
ago.
that past
That was
history?
like no, that was
but
good. That
look,
was like
y'all. He
But
that
asked
was
y'all
like
a,
eight,
haven't been
9 years
together.
ago.
Africa. He asked a question. How could he change this? Right. What you do is go to the court and say, I would like for her to have more visitation with our daughter. How can we achieve that? 13 years, honey, I tell you, the court will say, okay, we put a mediator in place. You all come up with a new arrangement because that is what the court wants to see happen. Is you two being on the same page, putting the child ahead of everything. So that's one way you could change it is to petition the court for her to have more time. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
We don't have a court case though. So there's no judge for us to
For
go
modification.
petition.
It's called modification, honey. You go open
I'm just
one
trying to
and
I'm
you
just trying
ask
to
the
see what are
court.
y'all
I'm
alluding to.
sorry,
I'm
Mark.
trying
I'm
to
talking to Kelsey. Hold on. You
that's
go to
that's not her
court.
name.
Say her name properly then.
It's Kenzie.
That you will be. Okay, thank you. You. So listen, sweetheart, what you do is you go open a new case. and it's in order to modify the previous case, and you all ask for a new arrangement. If you're in agreement with it, they will gladly give it to you, because then you won't spend all kind of the court's money going back and forth.
But
That's the
TC, she
we've
said it's not a court
never
ordered
been to
arrangement. It's not
court.
a court ordered arrangement, right, Kenzie?
Right.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a court ordered arrangement. She would have to go to court and open up a whole new custody
Yeah,
case.
well, and then that's what they can do: petition the court to have the time modified. That's it. It's not a big deal. It's not hard. It doesn't even cost a lot.
Okay, so
Modify
question:
what
are y'all in
though?
the same state?
No,
No.
7 hours away.
If you're saying that he has primary custody, am I wrong?
He has
Because she took
physical
the child.
custody.
You said
Okay,
primary
so
earlier.
if he has
You have
primary, physical primary, whatever word we want to use, and y'all want to modify the arrangement, because it would be a modification if you were to get some more parenting time, that's called modifying. If you guys come to that agreement, you can open a new case and ask them if you can see, he's agreed that you would see her more. All they will do is send you to a mediator,
Thank you.
sign off on it, and you have a new arrangement.
I should.
Okay, so they're
Right.
not in the same state.
No.
No, we're
7 hours
not.
away.
Okay,
Does
so
But let
then
me ask y'all this, panel.
question is,
Let me ask y'all this, and I'm not even trying to disrespect my baby mother. We didn't get into the real nitty gritty of that weak ass dude she used to be with.
And we can't, Mark. We can't.
No, but we got
Mute
into
him
my.
if
we
he
got
starts
into my
talking
stuff.
about it. Mute
We
him
got
if he
into my
starts talking
stuff.
about it.
We got into my stuff.
Please
So
mute him if
no,
please
you see
mute
that?
him if he
No,
talks
no,
about it, because it is
Is there
has
not
not
an
been
active case, Mark? She
it
said
is
no.
an
If
active
it's
there's an
case.
active case, Mark, we're not going to
now y'all
violate
want
the
to
law
mute
to
me when
validate.
I'm talking about the man that was around my daughter.
It doesn't matter. It's going to
It's
affect the integrity of the case, and we
he's
have
in
to get
jail for
justice.
unaliving somebody
We
already.
have to get justice, and you
He's in
cannot.
jail for 20.
Okay.
Mark, we're not
See,
going to do
somebody
that.
mute him because he's not
I
understanding.
did.
He's
Mark,
saying.
we're not
That's
going to
the
do
matter.
that. Okay.
Oh, so now y'all can paint me out as a bad guy.
So
But
we're
I
not
know
painting you
my
as
baby mama
anything
ain't
other
with
than
an
what you
Xbox.
presented, sir. And you're
What
here.
Bro,
y'all
he
doing?
You're
cannot
free to
talk
defend
about
yourself.
this.
You have a whole box where you can refute everything this woman says, but there is absolutely no need to bring up somebody else when this conversation is about Kenzie and
That's
Mark.
this what this conversation is about.
Well, this conversation is about Kenzie. It's not
No,
about.
this
It's not. It's
conversation
not
is
about a
about why
third
we're in a
man. It's about
predicament
these
that we're
two.
in. So therefore, I would like for y'all to be respectful towards me, okay? And let me tell my side of the story.
Well, you can't. Your side of the story cannot include an active case.
Yes, it can, because it's
Oh,
not
it
active.
won't on this.
no,
line.
it can't. You cannot talk about an active case, even if you're not a part of that case. She is, and anything that's going on with that case with her, she can get in trouble for it.
Well,
You
she's
can't
on here
talk
talking
about
about
something that
something
she's
else.
actively in.
Talk about what she said. Refute what she said.
I'm trying to, but I
But you
can't
don't have to
if
refute
it's an
what she
open
said
case.
by talking about an
I
active
can
case for
talk
another
about it.
man.
The lawyer just said I could talk about it. It's
Okay,
a lawyer going to come.
well, she asked not to talk about it. She is my guest tonight, and I'm asking that you not talk about it.
Well,
So let's get
I'm
back
gonna let you know
to
this.
the actual subjects at hand.
I'm gonna let you know this. All right. Y'all silencing me. That's exactly what y'all doing.
Look,
Everybody
Mark,
sees
you love
me
to play the victim. You play
It's-
that victim role very
no,
well. You're a victim and a villain at the same time.
I mean,
Nobody
you
silencing you.
can say I've already spoken on the person.
Correct.
I've already spoken on the person. I said that I was wrong for allowing him to come around our daughter.
So
I blame myself for everything and always will. So what more do you want from me?
no, I got it. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, just put it on by the refrigerator.
There's an attorney in the comments that says she's not your attorney, but don't talk about it.
But since we got it, so therefore, my daughter being with me was the right choice. So I obviously didn't like that dude. So I'm like, you know what? My daughter is best to stay with me. Then all the other stuff happened, CTS, blah blah blah. Y'all know that shit. But then I'm like, you know what? She do need her mother. Like maybe she want her mother around. Like I could see it. So I'm like, hey, would you like to come live with me? I believe that I'm matured within. I'm doing very okay. I'm very stable. And then no disrespect to the mother of my child, but I'm like, you know what? I'm like, in order for her to like get her life back on track, maybe she need a new scenery. Maybe she can come out here with us, and like she could have stayed with me, save up some money, get her own place. That's what I planned on doing. So we can all be like a good co-parented family back like we used to be.
Have y'all had counseling, couples counseling after the incidents?
That's
No,
Have y'all had any type of intervention that would have you to believe, Mark, that that would be a great idea?
yes, because
What
I'm
no,
what
because I'm
intervention have y'all had? Parenting
and
classes? What?
no. I immediately told him it wouldn't be a good idea. Next solution, let's think of something else. And he said, nope, that's it. That's the solution. That's it. And if you don't do it, you don't want this. So that was it.
And then let's talk about when you came out here and you supposed to went to the beach with her, but you took her back and snuck and went back to Oklahoma.
There was no sneaking, Mark.
Yes, you did.
That was
I
no,
looked up
nobody
online and you
snuck.
took her right back to Oklahoma. I'm like, yo, what the hell? You supposed to be bringing her back. And that's when CPS and
No,
shit got involved a couple months
Yeah,
after
you gotta
that.
stop cussing, Mark.
no, that's not what happened at all, Mark. We went on a planned vacation the weekend that she got out of school because when I didn't get her back for Christmas, I said, okay, let her finish the school year out. Let her finish her second grade year out. That's fine. And then the weekend after she got out of school, we went to the beach and I told you we weren't coming back,
Yes,
that
you
she
did.
was
Because
living with me.
we had a big fight about that.
Yeah, we did have a big fight about it
Yeah.
when I told you that we were leaving and that she was staying with me because this had gone on
And,
long enough.
but your life still wasn't stable as much as it needed to be. You were still unstable.
What does that even mean?
It means you were unstable. You took her after she was in a stable household.
What in a one bedroom apartment in downtown Houston? Are
And
you
that's why
kidding me? With
that's why
you?
we
You
in a
were
two
making
bedroom.
content? Oh
What?
yeah, thank God.
Yeah, and that content that I made, guess what? It got us a 2 bedroom apartment
I'm
where
so
she
proud
living.
of you.
All right then.
Awesome. But
So
I
when
mean,
she took her, had you already established primary guardianship of the child?
no, no.
So there
Quick
was nothing.
answer.
Okay, there
The
was
second
nothing.
time it was though.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. That's when CPS got involved. And why the fuck we on here talking to these random ass people?
Again, there's a no cursing rule here.
Why the why the
You gonna
heck?
respect it or you're gonna get
Bro.
dropped.
He's not respecting. And this is the problem that we have with Mark.
This is
Again,
why I can't talk to him.
he wants everything his way.
It's
He wants you to see
insanity.
things his way.
It's
He's not
insanity.
open to
Mark,
discussion.
Mark, I've
So
tried. Like, yeah, I don't care what any of you guys say in the comment section. I've been more than patient with this dude, and I've given him more than one opportunity to come up here and have a respectful conversation. Let's go ahead and continue on in the comment section. I am tired of trying with him.
I'm sorry, host, but Kenzie, like I say all the time, and Mark, if you still in here, I want you to listen to. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful baby girl.
Absolutely.
That girl is gorgeous. Let me tell you something. She is very gorgeous. I really do hope that y'all work it out because y'all don't want it to be where pivotal moments like homecoming, prom, graduation,
Mm,
those are important things that y'all have to go to together and y'all have to be cordial for that girl. Y'all have to. Cause like she's gonna see everything and she's gonna have to determine like it's like she is gonna feel like in a way she has to pick sides when really she don't. She does
yeah,
not. Cause she has two hardworking parents that are really making sure that she has the best of what she can have in life. And it may not be perfect right now, but y'all still have time to figure and work it out because I had parents who got married and divorced and then everything was turmoil, but they came together for me so that I can have somewhat of a normal childhood. And that's all she deserves is a normal childhood from two parents.
Baby,
yeah.
you said they came
Beautiful,
together
Jimmy.
for who? Who did your parents come together for?
They came together for me.
Did y'all hear her?
Mm.
I've been through this, so it infuriates me when the
I
child
hear
is not
him,
put
and it's
first.
crazy.
When the child is not put first, it shows. And you know what else shows?
Come
When
on.
one of the parties have not gotten over the relationship is when you
Mm.
have a demise of co-parenting. If both people are done with the relationship, no hard feelings, move along, then your attention automatically goes to that child.
I like it.
And for the sake of it, somebody better sign up for some counseling real quick. She's
Yes.
2 years
I've
old.
been
My baby
begging
is 20.
him.
And you
Been
know
begging
what?
him to put her in counseling for years. The whole time she been with him, begging.
Well, that's another court issue because they will make him take her if the judge sees fit.
But that's the thing. We kind of had like a unspoken agreement, or it was spoken. We told each other
Y'all are
we would
way,
never have the courts
y'all,
involved, but
yeah, y'all are way past that, and
we
that's
are.
that's when family court does work out for people. Hopefully, if you have a good judge, because there's no more of 2015, 2023. If this current day, with all respect, and I hold your hand while I say it, she's not being put first, and it shows. Just sit
Yeah.
on it. Just sit on it.
All right.
Kenzie, do you think so? Because it seems
No.
he can't let go, or is it just he has to control everything?
No, I think that when we split up, first it was very hard for him to accept that it was really over, and then when I finally moved out, we had a time where of about like 6 months where we lived separately, and we would just kind of like meet around the corner and do drop offs and everything, but like I didn't feel safe enough to let him know where we lived for a while, to know that he wouldn't do something crazy, just because he acts off emotion. But no, he's not in love with me. He hasn't cared about, like, I mean, he moved on fast, and so did I for the most part, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. Very good. DT, go ahead with your question. Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, it was more of a statement. I just wanted to say, as somebody who's was in a similar situation, speaking from the child's perspective,
Mm.
it's not always easy to kind of speak up and ask, but I'm sure she does want to spend time with you. So it's always just about trying to find some type of common ground, maybe and I get it, being 7 hours away is crazy, but maybe it can be a thing of meeting halfway to spend the night at a hotel or, 3-day weekend. Not saying that that's not something that happens. And I commend you for realizing that, like, this is a toxic environment, and then, kind of, separating yourselves, because being somebody whose parents who fought every day of the week, it did affect me and how I communicate and listen to things, like not how I listen, but how I receive things, and I had to kind of go, work that out. So I mean, it's being separated isn't always a bad thing. Being out of not being in that kind of environment is a good thing, but just trying to find some type of common ground to, do activities, just finding a 3-day weekend, stuff like that. That's it
I
for
would
me.
love to do that. That's all that I've been asking for years. I mean, he blocked me on everything, so I have no way of opening that channel of communication to set those things up. And he doesn't care to reach out to me to set anything up. So
I'm sorry y'all going through that, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, just please don't give up, mom. Keep trying.
appreciate you, DT.
Very good.
So
Thank you so much.
blocking you off of everything, that's alienation. That's something else you can go file.
Right. Okay.
All right, Miss Nikki, fire away. Welcome to the conversation. Fire away with your question.
Hello, host. How everyone? Okay, I have two questions. Is that me?
That's you.
I'll go down and come back.
Okay, no problem. And welcome to the conversation. Go ahead with your question. And going once, going twice.
And
Okay, come on. Go ahead with your question, Miss Ann.
Where's she at?
I thought I heard her come through for a second. All right, going back to the comment section.
Somebody in the comments said y'all are coddling her. You're a person that doesn't care about the child either, obviously. Coddling. Giving her advice is not coddling. I've worked with children more years than you've probably been alive. And if I'm giving her advice on how to better help that child, call it what you want to.
All right, we have several people that are still waiting
I'll
on
say
you.
this.
I'm sorry.
If you've never been in a DV situation, I'm not gonna put words in her mouth or put words in her brain cells. But what I will say, y'all can say that she doesn't care about her child, but unless you absolutely have been in her shoes, have been in her life to know what she does and does not care about, you cannot ever say a mother doesn't care about her child unless you've been in the situation with her through and through, top to bottom, left to right. And to see y'all keep saying she doesn't care about her child, I've been in a DV situation. You can say you're not scared, but your actions can also prove that you are afraid of what is going to happen, what the outcome can be when it comes to your children. There were several times that I had situations where my ex-husband literally looked like he was going to get my kids, even with none of the stuff that he was saying being possibly true. And yet, by the grace of God, I was able to keep my kids because I stood firm, and I had faith, and I believe. But there are moments where you are afraid that you can possibly lose your child or your children. And y'all are sitting here trying to make it like this girl doesn't care about her child just because she has not figured out how to, one, continue to be stable while dealing with the foolishness that's going on with this child's father, while she's still trying to get past probably some of the situation that she lived through. So I mean, what more y'all want her to do? We all agree she needs to see her child. She says she needs to see her child, but y'all trying to make it like she don't like her child, love her child, care about her child because the child is half black. If that was the case, she'd have unalived that child before it took its first breath.
Ooh.
10 years ago, when it was legal to do it, before the new
Okay, Nina, you
administration
have to
made
be
it
one of my
unlegal.
friends. Hit the button and then you can come up.
So, I mean, I'm gonna need y'all to get some of that what y'all saying together, because it's really disheartening, especially for the women in the thing. Maybe you have the strength to stand up to your abuser. Maybe you have that, but she doesn't have that yet to stand up and fight the way you say you'll fight for your child. I fought for mine, and I deal with bipolarism, borderline schizophrenia,
No
but I
problem for
still
you.
fought for my children. Some people have the strength to fight for their kids while going through their storm. Everybody doesn't. So, no, we're not coddling her, but we are giving her grace. Those of us who have been in DV situations. I'll land my plane.
I like it. Nina, baby, you sent the request. Everybody, we have several people that are still waiting to come up to ask questions. Please, you have to be one of my friends to come up on my panel. So hit that button and you're more than welcome to come up. This has been a interesting conversation. Mark is still in the room. Again, I have tried, what will this be, the third attempt at trying to get him to stay calm and respectful and have a conversation, and he cannot abide by simple rules like not cussing at people. It just no emotional regulation whatsoever. I don't understand it. What I also don't understand is why is our business on the internet? Sir, your entire page is dedicated to you putting your business out there. The only reason you are being talked about is because you chose to share those things and they didn't go so well. All of this is rooted in Mark's want for likes, clicks, and views, because that's the reason why you made the video with regards to the slumber party. You got those likes, you got those clicks, and you got those reviews. You've been on this app long enough and you've been viral long enough to understand that there's a downside to having a big moment online. Understand that. Please understand that. So again, this will be the last night that Mark will be the subject. Again, we had a interview for the 113 people that are still in here. There's an entire he was here on Friday night, Mark was, and we sat with him 30-40 minutes maybe, where he did just what he did tonight and far worse. If you missed it, I'm going to put it over on my TubeView channel after this show ends. You're more than welcome to go and see his side. This night was about Miss Kinsey. I don't know what happened to her. And we wanted her to be able to tell her side as well. She has done that. And we've invited him up to defend himself as well. Kinsey, what happened to you? Oh, she's coming back. She must have some phone problems. And again, he's continuing to be belligerent and violent in his actions and his behavior, and we're just not going to tolerate it. If you can behave yourself and conduct yourself like a grown behind man with a 10-year-old child, then we can have a talk. But you're not going to come here and disrespect my page, myself as a host, or these moderators that keep this show going. We just run things a little differently over here. You save your ratchet, ghetto, twerking content for your page, but you're going to conduct yourself like a grown man when you're sitting over here. All right. Are there any other questions? We got several people waiting. Hold on. Call me Tay. Nina, you're waiting. Nikki. Nikki looks like she has another question. I'll bring you
You don't
back.
mind.
Go ahead, Vern.
So, is Kinsey? Is it Kinsey?
Kenzie.
Okay. Now, have you went and tried to talk to anybody and see if they would take your case pro bono to see if they would help with giving you legal advice, stuff like that, and lead you in the right direction to get you to have time with your child?
No, again, I've just had those like consultations that I thought were gonna go somewhere, and then whenever we got down to the point of okay, let's get this ball in motion, it's always like, oh, and then it'll be this type of payment plan or like this type of, you know, stuff that I can't afford because it's all like $200 an hour.
But if you put
You-
yourself on,
if
oh,
you-
go ahead. Vern.
Go ahead. If you contact your state, you're from Oklahoma, right?
Yes.
Because I'm from Oklahoma. Okay.
Hmm.
If you contact the state of Oklahoma, they have lawyers there that strictly work pro bono. So
Or
you have to call the board, and they'll give you the names of the ones that do work pro bono to help out, and they monitor them too,
Correct.
because the I have a cousin that was going through some similar stuff, and she had a lawyer help her out pro bono to get time with her child.
okay.
Okay, but you
I was
got
told that they couldn't do that with it being a different state, him being in Texas,
it
but
may
I will
be.
look
I don't
into
know.
that for
That
sure.
part I don't know. I can't say
Well,
that. I don't know.
It'll
she
have to be
can,
the
she can
state
look
that
up
the
pro
child
bono
is in.
herself.
Yeah.
But what about
Yeah,
putting
it'll
yourself
have
on child support? If you put yourself on child support, doesn't custody become a part of that case?
No, that's separate.
You don't. I don't know about her state, but in Georgia, just because you're on child support, that doesn't mean that the custodial parents have to give you rights to see the child.
Yeah, it's separate.
It's like
Okay.
that in Louisiana too.
Okay. Well, I apologize. I don't know.
And it also has to be filed in the state the child lives in. I do believe that is across all 50 states that when you go to court, you need to go in the state the child lives in because they don't believe in doing it across state lines. So, because my kids lived in Louisiana, my ex husband had to do everything in Louisiana because this the state the kids lived in.
That's kind of been the problems that I've been running into as well. It's just not easy for me to get down there the way I need to.
So most of the things you can file online though nowadays. You don't have to be in person. You call the court, ask for the pro se, and this is the thing that I think some of the people want to say in the comments, but the delivery is a little harsh. Um, there's a will, there's a way.
Correct. I think
Yeah.
that's what people are getting at. Yeah, we won't. I mean, for a mother to go that many years without seeing a child, you have to understand the level of abandonment that child is going to feel, and that I can speak for personally. I had a mom that packed up and left. My father passed when I was 15. My mom packed up and left. Me and my sister with my grandmother within 6 months of that, and it took me years, and I was 15 at the time, to get past that break. And there were times that we didn't speak for a year or two. And again, I was a full grown adult with a wife, a big house, and a kid, and I was still struggling with things like with the thought of being abandoned by our parents. So I can only imagine what a child, especially a female child, is going to feel when you don't see that mother. You know what I mean? So again, we're trying our best to grant you the grace, but yeah, we're gonna have to hold your feet to the fire when it comes down to, hey, if that were a man, we'd be beating him up, and I do it all the time. I beat men to completely up in this room. I had one I interviewed with the USPS worker that got into that big mess in Chicago. I got him in his room and tore him to pieces because he wanted to cause all this drama over what $500 in child support. And now we got a mother here, Kenzie. I'm sorry that it's I can't afford it. It doesn't matter. Again, a parent that truly loves that kid is gonna do whatever it takes, hell or high water, to be able to be in that child's life because they only grow up once, and you're missing the most vital of those years. So I'm not. Although I absolutely feel where you're coming from. At some point, when are you going to start running something more than your mouth when it comes down to doing something to get your baby back, especially from somebody that's still displaying violent tendencies and violent behavior.
Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. And believe me, it's not lost on me that that I have that I did spend, two more than 2 years away from my daughter, and it was literally the most painful 2 years of my life. And doing that in that time, like I said, I was working constantly. I got a job that got me good insurance so that I could get therapy and get on medications and start that healing process and all of that. So in doing that, I don't have a lot of money to spare. So I mean, are there different things that could probably be done? Yes, but like I said, I have no communication with Mark at all. Mm, I don't know. I just want to know what she needs. Like,
Then, Kenzie, that's why the court is there, honey. You got to put that out of your mind. It's not about communication with him any longer. He
Correct.
is not the end all do all. When he
right?
doesn't comply, then that's why the courts are there. Hopefully, you'll find a fair court, but it ain't always fair. And at
But
the end of the day, I'm gonna ask you: do you think that you're capable? Have you had moments where you're like, I'm a good for nothing mama, and I am not stable enough to care for her? Have you felt like that before?
all the time.
Well, that's why you're not making the effort. And that's what you need to get help with first. Damn the comments. Turn the comments off in your mind. If you've been taken to that point where you're questioning your ability as a mother, then it's time for you to stand up and fight that. Get yourself the necessary psychological help so that you can build up your strength to say, you know what? I'm a damn good mother. I care about my child. He's not in control of this. I am. And this is what I'm going to do to make it happen. Africa and I have been there, done it,
Yeah.
and could write a book about it. You don't feel adequate enough. And that's why I'm saying, people in the comments, y'all say what you want to say. It's fine. It's whatever. But
No, you're making sense. Yeah, that I mean, the mental battle that I've had to fight alone, it's been rough. And again, like I said, it's not something that I ever wanted my daughter to see. When
Can
I'm
I
having a
ask?
bad day, yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry. Can I ask? Well, did you grow up in a two-parent household?
I did.
Was it a stable household? Was there violence in your home?
There was not 1 ounce of violence. My parents were married for 32 years. They loved each other and they loved me.
Okay.
so, yeah, it's like Marquise, it's a perpetual cycle. And you go down
All I
further
wanted was my
down to that
family,
black
right?
hole.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, it just goes back to the I just craved that nuclear family
Yeah.
is why I stayed and put up with so much for so long. I mean, I didn't realize the person that I had a child by until I already had the child, basically.
Yeah.
And same for him as well. Like he didn't know a lot about me.
Right. It
And I
was a
mean we
month.
would have made different choices.
Yeah, it was a
Could we have
month.
known each other better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. You say he blocked you from everything. Do she not have a phone? Like you don't know his sister, nobody in his family where you can get in contact with them so you can talk to your child?
Yeah, so she's 10, so
Got
she
that
doesn't
screen time.
really prioritize speaking to me every day, even though like I'll text her and call her, she won't always answer. And when she calls me, sometimes I'm not able to answer. So it's just like that's the only form of communication that we have. And sometimes it's kind of like missed.
Yeah, but you know you're the mom. So if you gotta call her 30,000 times a day for her to pick up, you gotta be the one to make sure y'all have a relationship. It's not her job to look up to reach out to you. So if you gotta call her 50,000 times, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. But like, I mean, if her phone's dead, then calling 50,000 times isn't going to do anything.
Mm. Okay.
But how
Miss Nixie, welcome to the conversation. We're ready for your question.
see how do you know the phone is dead? If it's going to voicemail, it doesn't necessarily mean it's dead. It just means she's not able to talk on the phone. Maybe he's sitting in front of her and he don't want to. She doesn't want to talk in front of him.
No, you're right. I
You know,
don't know that.
um,
I don't know that. But
I
I
just,
wouldn't assume that. I wouldn't assume that. I don't think that he would keep her from talking to me. I think they're just both very, very careless and don't really prioritize me
well,
at
but
all.
it ain't about you. It ain't about them prioritizing you. It's about you prioritizing yourself and make sure that you do what you got to do. Whether it's getting help like they're telling you to, with seeking out, counseling, which you say you're already in, and trying to get some legal counseling to see what you can do there. It's about all that stuff, because she's getting ready. She's 10 years old. She's starting to develop.
Exactly.
She's starting to develop, and this is what I think TT and everybody's trying to tell you is that if you don't get yourself together right now, okay, she's going to be dealing with a man who could be off kilter and not getting help for himself like you are.
Mm.
Okay, so if you want her to grow up with somebody who is not getting help, the psychological help that he needs, then you don't know what could happen. Okay, she's getting to ready to start developing. She's got questions. Things are gonna be happening to her that she don't understand. He don't even understand. I don't even understand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talk to my girl all the time. She'll tell me something. I'll be like, "Whoa, I didn't even think about that." She tells me things I don't even think about.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I mean, and she's young, so you got to really be prepared that she's got a lot of questions
Yeah.
about development,
Yeah.
about what she's thinking, about boys, about all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I just implore you. I'm gonna step down and make some room for other people, but you gotta make sure that you listen to what TT and Africa is telling you because I think they've been
No
going on
problem.
with what they're saying to you. I'm landing my plane and I'm gonna go down to the bottom in the notes or in the
All right.
comments. So
No problem. Okay, folks. I think right now is a great time for a tap break. We've been going pretty long and pretty heavy for a while now. Alexis is in the room. We're going to reopen. We'll start the question sections back up with her. At this point, we have almost 100 people still in the room. Let's tap this thing on up to the 130,000 mark. No problem, Africa. So let's go ahead and tap that screen up, and then once we hit that 130, we will resume the Q&A session of this show. I thank you all for being here tonight. Again, Mark is still in the room. Mark, again, I've tried twice with you, and every time you come up here, you're violating, sir. So I don't want to end the show without letting you come up and say whatever else you feel you need to say, but you're gonna have to do it without cussing. You're going to have to do it with a little less of the personal attacks. That's all I'm asking you to do. Is really a quite simple concept, but you don't seem to be able to grasp it here. So we're gonna try it one final time as we're getting ready to close out this Q&A session. We have one more, and then we're gonna let Miss Kenzie go. She's been going pretty long with us tonight. This show started at 7 o'clock. We've been going for about 3 hours now. So I have to thank her. She's been so wonderful and so open and honest with regards to her situation. Understand there's two sides or three sides: her side, his side, and the truth somewhere in between. You're hearing her side. If you were here on Friday, you heard his side. All of it will be available on Tube of You, Faith and Bishop 2 after we wrap tonight. So maybe not tonight because I got to go to bed, but it'll probably be up first thing in the morning if I don't get around to it. Excuse me, before I go to bed. Again, we do this all the time. My interviews, I do them sporadically when it's a topic that's of value or something that's layered or something that me and my panelists feel that we can add something to. This one started on Friday. I thought it was going to end on Friday. My team reached out to Miss Kenzie. She was gracious enough to come up and share her side. I thought that it was important enough for him to come up and speak. Why not hear the other side? But tonight will be the final night of this, and we're going to move right on to what we do, the next subject. So if you want to know what I'm going to be talking about on Friday, all you got to do is follow the TikToks throughout the week. In addition to my family content, the dramatic stuff, the fun stuff, there are pieces like this. I call these talking head videos, and these are the videos that make it to the big show. I also am live on Sunday nights for my subscribers only. Totally different show. We really communicate as family over there. We talk about our ups, our downs, what we're going through. We handle topics that don't make it to the big show. And we've recently gotten off into doing movie reviews as well. So we have a lot of fun over there. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing tonight or what you saw on Friday or what you will see on Friday, then consider subscribing. Also, you can support me without doing any of that. All I need you to do is when you see me hit that FYP, watch those videos to completion. Not going to be more than a minute. I promise to educate, enlighten, or entertain you in each and every one of the videos. You're going to get one of those three. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to make you think. We're going to have a good time. So watch those videos to completion. Hit that like button. Leave a comment, 2-3 words. It's awesome. Something that people can respond to, or even not, because I do respond to as many comments as I can. And most importantly, if it made you laugh, made you think, make you cry, or just made your day, hit that repost button. It's the greatest compliment that you can give somebody like me, who's a real creator on this app. All right, folks. Let's continue tapping that screen. We're almost there. We need 10,000 more taps with 86 people in the room. We're going to finish up that final set of questions, and then we're going to call it a night. Tap it up, folks.
Hey, Marquise, I got a skedaddle. Can I do my final thoughts?
I'll go right ahead, Ms. TT.
Because this is a believer's page, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't care what nobody got to say. God is God. And if you're a believer, Kenzie, you need to seek him, pray, and get him into the situation. Before you go to court, before you sign up for therapy, you need to seek him out first, like you never have before, because he's the only one that can change things when you're ready to seek him and you're ready to get things changed. And try to get into group too. Group therapy, individual therapy. If you've got time on your hands, do you have other children? Somebody in the comments asked that too.
No, she's my only one.
Okay, so you got a lot of time, sis. I know how that goes. This is a time that he's allowing you to work on yourself, to be a better you, to be a better mom, and most of all, to be a better child of his. Use your time wisely. I'm just saying.
I love it. Thank you so much, Miss TT. Thank you for being here. I'm dropping you down in the comment section. That is my moderator, my friend on and off the app, and she specializes in counseling services. So an excellent person to have tonight for such a difficult subject matter. Continue tapping that screen, folks. We're almost there. We need less than 8,000 taps, and we will resume. Again, for all the people that are waiting to come up, you have to be one of my friends in order to join the panel. So please hit that button, become one of my friends, and you're more than welcome to come up and ask any questions that you have as we get ready to wind down this particular show. All right, tap it up. Mark, you're still in the comment section. We're going to try this one final time with you, sir. Again, this will be the last time that you will ever be mentioned by Marquise. We've gotten your side. We've heard her side. We heard her side tonight, and we're going to wrap this thing like I wrap every other subject matter. We're going to move right along.
Can we let them just get to 125, so that way we can be on point for 10:30 at final thoughts? Because you got a job to go to, I got one to go to, and I'm sure some of these other people do, and they just enjoying what we got going on right now. But we got jobs tomorrow, and this was not a regular scheduled program.
You got that right. That is my main moderator. Understand that we work very hard on my show. My show on Friday lasted from 8:30 until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I came right back on Sunday for my Sunday night show. My Sunday subscriber only show, and now I'm back again on Monday. So I have to do what my moderators act. So okay, let's get us to the 125. Continue to tap that screen, and then we'll get ready to conclude the Q&A session as we get ready to wind down for the night. I appreciate it, Miss Alpha. Golly, you got the whip out tonight.
You're so welcome. You know I love you so much.
She got the whip going. All right, thank you all. Please continue tapping that screen because my moderator is losing patience. All right, we got a few people waiting. Call me, Organic, Tasia, and Mark on both pages. Okay, I see everybody that is waiting. Again, in order to ask questions, you have to be one of my TikTok friends. I don't see that any of you hit that button, so you will remain where you are. Janet, welcome back. Go ahead with your question, Janet.
I didn't really have a question, but more so just a statement to you, Kelsey. I would say just, I'm not saying you're not fighting, but you have to get that second win in, and you got to get in that ring because it's never too late. My parent got me at 14, and that's the strongest relationship I got in my life. And he did it even with the cutoff, even with the lack of contact, just every day. Even if I didn't respond back, I love you, I love you, I love you. What's going on with your life? You got to show to your child. I'm not saying that you're not, but I would say you really need to show every day, even if the phone's off. Send that text, send a voicemail, whatever it is. Find an email. Just show it because they're going to look at that even later on. It's never too late. Fight every day. That's all.
Beautifully
Thank
said.
you.
Good sound advice, Janet, because they're not gonna remember nothing more than Mama wouldn't know. So you got to make sure you do everything you can to be there as much as you can. So yes, you absolutely have got to fight. You got to fight a little harder. Miss Ann, go ahead with that question. We're ready for you.
Hello, Kenzie. I just want to reiterate what the previous person said, that you have to continue to reach out to her, whether her phone is dead, whether she doesn't call back. Don't interpret it as she doesn't want to talk to me, because I'm sure the father is probably filling her head with a lot of things that are untrue. And if you don't try, then she's going to think, well, my dad is right. Mama doesn't really care. Mama doesn't reach out. Look, she doesn't, want to talk to me. So it is your responsibility as the parent who doesn't have her full time, and who has her full time and what he's capable of doing and saying. And I know I've heard other mothers say when they've gone through domestic violence situations with the father of their kid, they say, well, he was always great to her. I believe a good father doesn't beat on the mother of their child. So he's capable of saying anything to your daughter. Thank you, and good luck.
All right, welcome back, Mark. We're getting ready to wrap this thing down. Go ahead, sir.
I heard you wanted me back on the live, and I just wanted to see if you had any further questions.
Not for you, Mark.
Anybody got any questions for me? Anybody got any questions for me? Let's do this.
I don't have any. I just wish you well in all your future endeavors and continue to make sure that y'all baby girl is happy and secure.
All right, Nina Baby and Tina
That's all I
Snow,
got.
ask me a question, please. Thank you, Miss Africa.
I do. I want to. Does your social media affect your child? Like,
No, because children under the age of 18 shouldn't be on social media.
That doesn't
I,
mean that they aren't, though,
I
Mark.
monitor everything my child does.
That
Next
that's
question.
not actually the
Next
question.
question. I monitor everything my child does.
okay.
That's not the actual question, though.
Yes, it was. It doesn't affect her. She doesn't know anything about social media.
But she has friends at school.
They mother are good parents too, so they don't have social media also.
Mark, do you know kids do? Like, I'm 35. I have 3 kids.
Oh, I know.
Kids
I
are
got a
sneaky.
17-year
Kids
old
do
now.
whatever they want to do.
That's hogwash, but that's
When they're
fine.
not when they're not around you, kids will be. They're gonna be kids.
Correct.
Next question, please.
Okay, so have a good night.
Thank you, Nikki.
Okay, anybody else got some more questions? Because we got 10 minutes to go. Final thoughts is on their way.
All right, all right, all right. Are we? Do we have any more? I'm just checking.
All right, I just heard somebody waking with a question. Hold on. The social media have to do. Hold on.
Don't don't worry, we'll wait.
All right, I'm
Was
back.
that the baby?
Oh
Was that the
man, that
baby?
was funny. Hey,
Um,
coach. Oh,
all right.
official. No, yeah, you can't. You can't. One thing I know about people is you can't talk to somebody that knows everything. So I don't even try.
All right. So last thing I gotta say, nothing negative to say about Kenzie. I wish we all would have made better choices what we did in our life, but the choices we made is gonna we're just gonna have to learn from them. I have nothing disrespectful to say about her. She ain't disrespect me. I don't believe to my knowledge. And I want her to continue being a great mother just like I'm being a great dad.
I thought I
So
was a
do you
bad
think that
mother.
you can make it easier for her
No,
to
I
see?
just said you're not present. That doesn't make you a bad parent. You just
You
not
let
present.
people say that
And
up
you made a
until
video
tonight.
and you made a video about a slumber party. So and you got the same breath and said that I'm a great dad and I'll be an excellent host for a slumber party.
And never did I once even open my mouth on that video. Didn't even open my mouth on that
But you
video.
you made alleged allegations just like everybody else, and I was very disappointed with you in that because I thought we was rebuilding our relationship.
You disappointed in me.
Yeah,
Okay. Next question.
that's not
Next
a question. That was a
question.
statement.
Okay, so then,
Okay.
okay, Mark. So let's just get past that because
No,
that's
like I didn't say
excuse
anything,
me, excuse me. Can
sir.
you close your mouth for a minute?
Who we talking
What? I'm a who you think you is, DJ the God? You think you a God?
Okay,
I'm a
I'm gonna
grown
ask you
man you talking to,
again.
boy.
I'm gonna ask you
First,
again.
wait, hold up. This man is
This is
60.
how it
You're
ends.
barely in your 30s. We don't disrespect our elders here, sir. Yeah, that's best for you.
Exactly.
We don't do that.
What I was gonna ask
You don't
you.
call somebody been grown twice, been alive twice as long as you've been breathing a boy. Matter of fact, that's slave talk. You don't call grown men boys. Ugh.
You know what,
I'm
Kenzie?
tired.
I have to
I'm
mute you
exhausted with that dude. Mark,
because I know.
I want to be the first to say that your name, Mugshot Mark, would never cross my lips again as long as I'm on this app, sir. And if it would be
Honey,
a blessing to me if you would make sure you hit that block button because I'm likely and I don't even block people, but you likely gonna be the first person that I personally go and block. And my moderators can all attest to that. Marquise don't even block people, but you are atrocious. You're just
yeah.
you're the worst of the
I
worst.
mean,
You're a
Kenzie,
child.
Kenzie.
DP, can you give your final thought, DP?
Yeah,
That's
my
right.
final thoughts is thank you. Yeah, because I'm
Africa's
my head
done.
hurts.
Shit's done.
Yeah,
Oh, he back.
Kenzie, we
Yes,
you
sir.
have heard a lot of information about people telling you what you need to do and how you should do, and I
Yes.
want to commend you for being a mature adult, unlike some other people, and taking it on the chin and being receptive, and not, you know what I mean, just being willing to sit back and listen and understand. What I would tell you is the same thing everybody else did. And if there's any way I can help you, you can message me. You have my name. We don't need to go deep into it, but I can maybe help you find resources in dealing with this man. I would just say, Kenzie, you have to go get some legal something in writing. You need to get
Yes.
joint custody with visitations, holidays, and stuff because dude is he's just not um, receptive to, because I was going to ask him, does he think going forward, he can make it to meet you halfway and agree for you to have your daughter on it, but he's not going to, because in his mind, this is a war and he's going to win it at all costs.
Absolutely.
That's the vibe I get from him. So you need to just simply, you know, get joint custody. He can have physical custody, but you can have joint custody together, and that you can get the holidays, the summers, and everything else. Because I think that at some point your daughter is going to want to be with you, and she will return to you without a doubt, because every child needs their mother. But
Absolutely.
him, like the fact he thought he could, the DV you and you would want to come live with him, like that to me is unhinged behavior. Like if me and you fall out and have physical, we can't never be cool. I can say hi to you, but me and you can't never and live under the same roof. That's delusional behavior. So, sweetheart, thank you for being here. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for taking all the critiques. And just, yeah, dear, try to get something legal so he can't keep you from your child. And I've
Yes, sir.
landed
I,
my plane.
I appreciate all the advice that everybody has extended to me tonight and the grace that the panel has extended to me. I do appreciate that as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you, DP. To God, I'll see you on Friday, brother. Miss Kinsey, we do final thoughts here, and that's what we do, where we give each one of our panelists 1 minute or more to say whatever they want to say. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for agreeing with my team to do this particular interview. I do hope that you felt very much protected throughout the conversation. I do know there were some difficult questions and some difficult things that came your way, and unfortunately, I was not able to keep a mark under control in the way that I would have liked. But I absolutely tried my best to try to keep you as safe and unattacked as possible. And I hope you feel that way. I have to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your testimony, sharing your story again. I think all the advice given throughout over the panel and over the last few hours has been good, sound advice. I have to leave you with the same thing as everybody else. You've got to continue to fight. The abandonment, that feeling of abandonment lives within a child, and it takes years and years and lots of tears to get past a hole the size of a mother. Understand that, and I know it because I've experienced it. We've gotten past it. People have been a part of my healing journey. I actually brought my own mother on, and we did our interview live about a year ago, and it was beautiful. But again, you're talking 24, 25 years after that incident, and I don't want that to be you, Kenzie, where you have a child that loves you, because there's no love like a child's love for its parent. It is unconditional. That's the only unconditional love you will ever experience. And you love those parents regardless of what they do or don't do. But you do have that resentment built, and that hurt and that anger that comes along with feeling that I wasn't good enough, or my mom didn't truly love me, or my mom didn't fight for me. And I don't want that baby to feel that way. So Kenzie, you got to do more. You got to do more. You got to do more than talk. You got to do more than call. You got to fight, and you got to get in those court systems. You got to find a way to get back to that baby, or that void, that wedge that's being drawn is going to get wider and wider, and it'll go from a pond to an ocean. and it's very hard to mend those fences once they're that far broken. So I just don't want that to become you. Again, I have to be perfectly honest. I was very apprehensive about sitting down for this interview just based on the exchange I had with Mark on Friday. I did not want it to become very combative, which it did, and I didn't want the message to be buried in the drama. So that is why I'm so happy that we do at least have this time at the very end of the show that we can truly pour our hearts out and to let you know that we love you, we care about you, and we want you to see you back with those babes. Understand? So I thank you so much. God bless you on your journey. I will be praying for you again. DP is a great resource. Also, TT, who was here earlier, she works in the counseling services. And has lots of experience and lots of connections. So feel free to reach out to either of those people. They will definitely be able to point you in the right direction of doing what you need to do to be able to be a part of your child's life in the way that you claim that you want to be. With that, I'm going to be quiet, give you the floor, and let you have your final thoughts. Thank you so much, Ms. Kinsey.
Yes, sir. Again, I do appreciate the platform. This was, I think, very, very beneficial for me. It was vulnerable. Again, I don't run away from anything that I've done that may be questionable or anything like that. So I was prepared to answer for whatever it was that he had to say. But I do regret that he couldn't keep it together to stay in the conversation. But I'm glad that this channel was open and that I do have the information, and I'm learning more about this because, like I said, I don't know anything about the family court system. I don't really have any friends where I'm at, so I don't really know much outside of Google and then put your information in, and I can't drive all around the city. So anyway, any information helps, and sometimes I'm just locked in an echo chamber.
Okay, well, Miss Kinsey, I thank you so much for being here tonight. You're more than welcome to come back. You've been great. And like I say, I appreciate your vulnerability and you sharing your testimony. So I'm dropping you down. I hope to see you again in a future show. I'm live on Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight. And again on Sundays. Again, this interview, along with Mark's interview, which is even more filled with fireworks, will both be available to watch on my Tube Review channel probably tomorrow. Africa has turned off the comments. Africa is done with this conversation. Africa, I got to shout out. I know I'm gonna miss some moderators, but Miss Africa, my main moderator, thank you so much. Miss Lily, one of my leads with regards to reaching out to get these interviews arranged and set up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to TT. Thank you so much to Sunset. Thank you so much to T Marie. You all help to keep this room where it needs to be, where we can have a productive conversation, one that is rooted in love, but we're going to do what we got to do to get you where you need to be. So I thank you all for being here tonight. I thank each and every one of my moderators. I could not do these type shows without you all. Again, interviews don't come around very often for us, but we handle them with care, custody, and control. So I think we did as best we could considering the subject matter and the people. I hope you guys have appreciated it. I hope you all have gotten something out of it. Miss Africa, go ahead with your final thoughts. I know. Look, I already know. I got a meeting. I got to head to a meeting immediately after this. It's not my fault.
Final thought is going to be this. Everybody's going to have their opinion. We're all going to have our thought process, and that's cool, fine, and dandy. You have mothers who have the strength to fight. You have mothers who don't know how to fight. You have mothers that just stand by and they let their children go to what they think is the better situation at that point in time. I can care less about which part you stand in, but at the end of the day, you have to respect whatever one mother is. I don't care if she's black, white, purple, green, alien with two antennas out of her head. At the end of the day, unless you're in that mother's shoes, you really need to stop saying if she cares about her child, and definitely stop trying to throw around that she doesn't care about her child because it's a half black child. Again, I'm going to say it again. If she didn't want her daughter She knew she was dating a black man. She knew she had sex with a black man. Guess what? She could have gotten rid of that child if she was not going to want this child because it's half black. That is the most redundant thing y'all could say. Like, I don't know where y'all get that notion and that idea from, but it is crazy to think
I didn't get that
that
either.
about somebody.
I didn't get that.
So,
No.
Kenzie, if you're still in the comments, if you're still here and you can hear what I'm saying, I do agree with everyone else when they say that you do need to put your big girl panties on, go get your therapy and whatever else you need to do to be an active mother in your daughter's life. But I will also say at the same time, as a former DV person,
Mm-hmm.
I know what that's like to deal with that. I know the fear, and I have had to deal with that. I've dealt with CPS being called on me every weekend my kids came home. I'm fighting CP cases. I'm fighting in a courtroom. Some of us have that strength. I had it because I grew up without my mother in my life as an active mother because of her drug use. So I fought for my kids because I said if I ever became a mother, they'd never be taken from me. Like, I bounced around from here, 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 and here. Thankfully, your daughter is in one spot with her father. As you said, he's a good father, and I'll say the same thing. Two things could be true. He could be an amazing dad, but he's a piss poor partner. That's two things that can be true. He can be amazing to her, but on the back end, not amazing to whoever he wants to be with, whoever he's dating, including you. So I'm not speaking bad on Mark. I don't know Mark. I missed half of it. I see some of y'all saying he's showing all his other things. I don't know. All I know is that I feel like both of these parents need to figure out where they can come together and make things easy for this baby to have both of her parents in her life. Her mother needs to be active. Her mother needs to see if she can switch a job and get closer to her, or she can do the same way my ex-husband was supposed to do. You can sit up there and be in two different states, but you can get your child every other holiday. You can come close as you can get for a weekend, and in the summertime, she goes with the other parents. So if Kenzie is not the primary parent, she definitely can have her for the whole summer. There is a way to get that done. Only thing I know is normally across all 50 states, she will have to petition it in Texas because that is where their baby is. But for the rest of y'all with that foolishness, y'all can feel she's playing the victim. I can say that I'll say this honestly. I think they both are playing victims. But at the end of the day, I can still stand and say that I understand that a part of her has some fear in her because she backpedaled on some things he said, and then she stood on some things she said. So there is fear there. And unless, again, if you have not been in a DV situation, you can't speak on somebody's mental situation. You can't speak on what goes through their head. And I know it's a bunch of y'all that disagree with me, but guess what? Been there, done that. I just got to where at 43 years old, I can actually be in a relationship and be in a healthy relationship and be okay and not jump every time he does something that triggers what something I went through with an ex-husband and a fiance. That's all I need y'all to understand. Y'all got to think outside the box. Nobody's attacking Mark. I don't know him to attack him. I just wanted him to be respectful. I wanted him to be decent. And that's all. He doesn't know how to be decent. Like I say, good father, bad personality.
Horrible. Horrible.
And if
Horrible.
you think we picked on him, that's fine too. Y'all can go travel over to Mark Anthony the Django, and y'all can go over to Mark Anthony, whichever one of his pages y'all want to hang out on. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I hope y'all are telling him to continue to be a good father and go get the help he needs so him and Kenzie can be great co-parents, because the years that are getting ready to come up for this baby are going to be the next most important years of her life.
Absolutely.
That's all I got. That's the end. Good night.
Thank you, Miss Africa. Look, and you all have got me in trouble now. My team has me coming into a meeting at 10:40 at night. Thank you. You know what? People that were here on Friday, and especially my team and my family that were with me on Sunday, knew how difficult of a decision it was for me to sit down and have this conversation, because typically we don't revisit topics at all. But like I said, between me mulling over it and my team suggesting that, hey, he got to tell his side, and he's been doing his thing. Why can't she, a person who, thank you so much, who has suffered DV, which he freely admitted to during this live, not be able to tell her side. So that's what ultimately drove me to this conversation. It was, for the most part, productive. Again, I have nothing against Mugshot Mark Anthony Django. I do not. I stated in my video, and I'll continue to state it, you could very well be a great father, but I don't know that. You could very well be a great parent, and I'm not going to gamble my child's safety. And I could never understand from that conversation to this how you didn't understand, or you would even bring that up as a topic of discussion here. This all started from a grown behind black man wanting to host a slumber party for a bunch of girls at his home. Marquise will never agree with that, and I have a daughter that's 17. That's where I stood then, and that's where I stand now. All the rest of this is nobody's fault but his. You invited all of these conversations. You invited all of this scrutiny. Miss Kinsey got on her page. She told her story. She produced the evidence proving that this man liked to lay hands. And he came up here tonight and freely admitted it. So I leave it up to everybody to make their own conclusions. I don't know either of these people. What I do know is that there's a beautiful baby girl. I covered her face just to be respectful. Beautiful baby girl between the two. And if anybody is suffering, it is her. She's suffering from a parent that is not there and a parent who's very unhinged. So I'm praying that he will get the help he needs. I'm praying that she'll get the help she needs. And I'm praying that one day these two can come together for the sake of that beautiful baby girl, because this is the person that's ultimately suffering. My final thought for tonight is just this. I'm going to keep it very simple. If you don't want people in your business, do not post it on the internet. Again, I repeat, if you don't want people in your business, do not post it on the internet. He posted it, and every time you post, you want the likes, the clicks, the views. But when the narrative shifted, or when the scrutiny came, he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. And that's why this guy is becoming unglued in every live he's been in, because my live tonight and Friday is not the only live that he's been in acting unhinged. Every live he's gone into, he's gone in with that rah attitude. You're not going to win that with grown men. You're not going to win that with grown women. The only people that are going to be appeased by that are little kids, 19 and 20, whose brains are still developing. I'm 41 years old. I'm a grown man that's been married almost as long as you've been alive. I don't play with kids. I raise them. So with that, hope he grows and matures. I'm praying for him as well. I don't doubt that either of these people love their kids, but this was obviously a toxic relationship, and they just need to find a way to co-parent for the child that they made. Another piece of advice for you people that are young and dating: do not jump into bed with somebody you do not know without protecting yourself, because you can end up with a child with a perfect stranger. These were perfect strangers. 1 month, those are perfect strangers. So they spent the majority of their relationship getting to know each other, and that's just the opposite of the way that it should be. So date. Take your time. Your relationships should never start in bed. Excuse me. With that, I'm going to conclude this show. This will be the last time that we will mention Mugshot Mark Anthony Django. Praying for you. Miss Kinsey, praying for you as well. I love you all with the love of God. Again, hit that button if you haven't already become one of my TikTok friends. Follow that content throughout the week, and you'll know exactly what we'll be talking about on Friday. Each and every week, brand new topics, brand new show. We never, well, with the exception of this, it's very seldom that you get us to revisit a topic, and we're done with this one. So I love you all with the love of God, and I will see you all on Friday. Be blessed. Once again, hit me up on the tube of you, Faith and Bishop 2. Same username everywhere. All lowercase, number 2 at the end. This interview and Mark's interview, per se, will be available for you all to view, comment on, and make your own conclusions. So once you see it, please leave your comments so I can head over to your page of you or your tube of you pages so I can support you all as well. Please. I thank you all. God bless you. Good night.